Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Welcome to episode 4 Brothers to the End podcast. We got a special guest today. Vern, say hello, my co-host. Hello, Vernon?
Vern's muted.
Vern, you're the worst.
I'm here.
Hello?
I'm here. Bro, I didn't hard mute.
Doesn't even know how to do his own podcast. Muted in the goddamn stream.
Welcome to brother. Dude, I already honestly didn't even
Could you hear me?
I didn't have any audio. It just hard muted.
Great start to the stream. Great start to the podcast.
What's funny is I just to give everyone a little indication of what's going on. I didn't even do the intro, the podcast intro, so that it would be a flawless intro today on Brennan's end, and I still messed it up.
You still messed it up.
Off to a fantastic start.
We have a special guest with us, Michael Di3seL Karra. How are you on this fine day?
The
Specialist of guests.
The specialist of guests.
It is.
The
it's
one and
literally
only.
our first guest ever.
Well, the first guest since the reboot of the podcast.
I'm the first guest.
You're basically
the
first guest. You're special.
Look, getting drunk and just
and I was told I'm the first. Otherwise, I'm leaving.
Okay,
So,
no, you're the first.
cool.
getting drunk in a Discord or a TeamSpeak and then starting the podcast while drunk with whoever was there does not count as guest.
I mean, okay, fair enough. You are the first official guest that we've ever had on a podcast. So
Boom.
welcome. If you guys didn't know anything about Di3seL, he is a fellow streamer. He streams over on Mixer. He's been a huge part of esports and gaming for a long time. Shoot, I think me and Di3seL actually, before we even met, Di3seL and I were at the same Gears of War MLG event, like in Vegas 2007. Do you remember that one?
Yep. Can you confirm that one? That was at the what was this? Some giant venue.
It was at
It's
the
like Sands Event Center or something.
It
like
was
that.
the event center that was connected to the Venetian.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, massive. And you were playing for OpTic's Gears of War team.
Yep.
Yeah, so this was long before Mike and I even became friends. Because when did we become friends? I want to say after you worked at Machinima?
Yes.
Do you remember?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was then. It was like, because we were friends before. I don't know when the first time we met. It had to have been like a Machinima thing. Maybe like one of the gaming award shows or something like that they did.
I think it was.
Or maybe it was a 24-hour live stream for Call of Duty. Did you ever come out for that?
No, I think it was. You know what happened? I got my partnership because you were doing the sports partnerships for Machinima at one point. I think that's how you're doing it. And then Gears 3 came out, and you were playing Gears 3 with Hutch. And then I think we met each other playing Gears 3 like early access. Like remember the Gears 3 beta? I'm pretty sure it's the first time we ever played games together.
Trying to teach Hutch how to play Gears of War.
Oh my god, that
did not go well.
No.
It's still I don't think he's ever played Gears of War again. I think that was the last time he ever played it.
It's a tough. I get it though. It's a tough game. Like it's hard, man. Like even if you're good at another shooter, you're not going to be good at Gears of War necessarily.
Yeah,
I mean the previous ones, the new one, I think is it's a lot more forgiving. But yeah, those old ones, 2, 3, all that, no chance.
I mean, we got Doc. Doc's been playing it. Dr. Disrespect's been streaming Gears 5. It looks like he's starting to pick it up a little bit. But it is definitely one of those games where it's like even if you're good at other shooters, you're not going to be good at Gears. It's a whole other realm. It's a whole different animal. Whole lot of anger. Which
it's a lot of getting used to, man.
It's a lot of
third person cover system is not something that's apparent.
Why is there so much anger?
You can jump from shooter to shooter.
Why is there so much anger?
I don't know. I don't know why. It's the only game. It's been the only game that has ever always gotten me, no matter if I'm doing awesome or if I'm doing super shitty. I'm angry all the time.
You just always do better. And you know that. You know what you're capable of. And so
I'm saying when I'm doing well, I have an incredible game. I'm still angry the entire time. But I love the feeling and I don't know what it is. It's really I probably should stop playing it.
No.
We don't condone that.
I feel like I don't get as angry. Yeah, that's true. But I don't get as angry as no, I do. I do get angry. I can get angry with that game.
Roll the highlight film.
Yeah, there's a couple controllers that are in the graveyard from that game.
You got some contradicting points.
Yeah,
with
you're
the
right.
whole angry part.
You're right.
You're working on it.
I think I've gotten better. Vern still gets just as angry.
What do you?
You do.
Sir? This is always loud. Vern, I don't know if Vern's happy or if he's
Thank you.
You know, angry. It's just the
true.
same.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
Yeah. You're like the Gears of War Hulk.
But not.
I will say I'm smart about my anger though. The only controllers I've spiked are broken ones already.
Yeah, but how did they get broken in the first place?
They just use over time.
And once I tosses it up in the air, pulls that paddle out and knocks it into his room somewhere.
Once I switch controllers, the old one becomes the one that when I get angry, I can keep it nearby so that I can pick it up and spike. It's actually literally on the floor across my office from the last time I threw it.
Jesus Christ, dude, you're a menace. You need help.
Oh.
Anyways,
I think, my hands would say different.
We have some topics. We have a lot of topics to talk about today. Vern, I know you have a pretty good list. If you want to start with yours,
we're already talking about Gears 5. Let's jump into
let's do it.
All the games we've been talking about, all the new games coming out. We got our hands on a lot of them. Di3seL has joined us for our Gears 5 playthrough.
Yeah.
And then if you guys are frequenters of the stream, you guys have seen us playing through Borderlands 3 as well together. So yeah, if we want to just touch on either of those, we also had the Modern Warfare beta this past weekend, as well as I've recently been playing a bunch of NBA 2K20. So we'll start Gears 5?
Yeah, start with Gears. I mean, Mike, you were our third, which you played a character that's never been playable in a Gears of War campaign. It's Jack. What was that? What was that like? Did you like it?
It was I mean, it was fun. It's fun. I mean, getting to play it with 3 people is cool. If you have a group of 3 people. I was in a weird sticky situation where I no longer fuck with the person that I played every Gears of War with from the beginning to 4.
Right.
So I was in a how do I do this kind of thing? But thankfully, Gears of War knew my problem and created Jack and allowed me to play him and everybody else as well.
Specifically for you.
Congratulations, and you're welcome.
I feel like Jack had a really big part in the co-op. Like there were so many parts that were strictly like
massive.
We can't go on without Jack's, use.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was like navigating pipes and stuff. It wasn't like, anything super monumental, but
yeah, it was I mean, it didn't feel like Gears of War when I was playing it. Obviously, it's a goddamn robot in the sky. So I'm not doing any of the cool gun play, but it was cool. I mean, getting to play with 3 people, that's the way I wanted to play it co-op. So
I almost feel like the Jack experience was like kind of its own experience aside from like the normal Gears campaign experience. Because I mean, obviously you weren't doing the same things me and Vern were doing as characters.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like it's got that replayability. Like I could go back and play it as Jack the second time and have a completely different experience than I did the first time. So I don't know.
We learned while playing through it that player 1, like I feel like it was a different experience for everyone, which is probably their intention. But like you were getting cutscenes that we couldn't see, like me and D's couldn't see and stuff. Like
that I did not like. I did not enjoy that.
Oh man, I'm still salty. I want to see everything that you're going through.
All the
you did your best in your defense. You did your best to relay the information, but like your character when we were playing would just like freeze up, and you're like, I'm going. I see my mom, and we're like, okay, sick. We're literally trying to fight this guy. Can you help?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to relay it to you. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. It had to have been by design. There's no way they released the game and they were like, oh, I guess only one of 3 players gets to see these parts.
It makes sense. It's supposed to be like her visions and stuff like that. It wouldn't make sense if Dell was just chilling there.
But why don't we get our own visions of something? Maybe just a flashback of cool times. Maybe when I was a robot being built.
Little baby Jack, the original Jack. That would actually be pretty cool. Yeah,
coming out the baby, the robot womb.
Give me something that you can't see.
Would it be Baird's? would it be Baird's womb?
Oh my! I hope
it would be the first thing I see for sure.
No.
Feel free to start writing your fanfics now.
Popping out of Baird's womb is the Jack baby. Jesus. So moving on to other games, we've been playing Borderlands 3. Oh, first and foremost, before we finish Gears 5, phenomenal game without any like spoilers, because we're totally against spoilers. We're not going to spoil the game for you guys. I loved the campaign. Like, I actually think this campaign might have been my favorite Gears of War campaign to play. I mean, the other ones are great. Like, Gears of War 1 was my favorite just because of like nostalgic purposes, but storyline and gameplay, like all the different factors, like I really truly felt like this was like the most immersive, amazing campaign they've ever released. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I agree.
Yeah,
I thought
the best one.
The open for sure for me anyways. The open world elements, a lot of times like that stuff can seem kind of gimmicky when thrown into a game that's never done it before. I was a little nervous for it in Gears of War, but we literally did everything we possibly could. Like we were out there grinding for collectibles, we were doing all the side missions we could, and not at a single point was I like, oh, this is getting tedious or this is boring. Like I loved every second of it. So shout out to them for doing that and doing it right.
Yeah,
it played into the story, I think, as well, because you're searching. That's your whole point. It's searching for answers to all this shit. So having open world, I think, makes sense.
It did, and I liked how they made it worth your time by like giving you different abilities for Jack.
Oh,
and, like,
souping Jack up.
Yeah, upgrading stuff, which was cool. I really like the relic weapons. Like if you guys haven't played Gears yet and you haven't played the open world aspects, make sure you explore, because there's a lot of like relic weapons, old like special weapons that are sitting around the map that you guys can use that have really cool attributes and stuff, which is kind of a cool addition to the open world aspect. So
Stuff.
yeah, it was good, man. I really enjoyed Gears 5. I think it's a solid game. It's definitely one of the better games that have come out this year. I mean, I would say top 3 games that have come out this year. Granted, the year
What else has come out?
Control came out.
Right?
What's that?
Red Dead came out this year, didn't it? Or was it last
No,
year?
Red Dead was last year. Red Dead was the end of last year, I'm pretty sure. Red Dead Redemption 2 is almost a year old already, I think.
Dang.
I'm pretty sure.
Control was good. I haven't
Control
finished
was
it.
good, yeah.
That game was surprising.
We talked about that a little bit last week.
Yeah,
and
we did. It
made
was
sound
surprising.
really good.
Oh, you haven't played it yet, Vern? No.
Nope. I mean, everything kind of hit us at once here. I'm trying to.
Yeah, that's true. It's a fun game. It's a little confusing, but the gameplay is just so fun, and it's actually visually like a really appealing game. So it's pretty good. Resident Evil 2 came out. That's right, Resident Evil 2. Excuse me. Came out. The remake came out this year, and that was really good. I think that was my #1 game up until like Control and Gears 5 came out. Granted, the year's not over, so there's more games on the horizon. You know, Modern Warfare looks really good, and depending on how their campaign or their story plays out, that could definitely
Their
jump up.
campaign is supposed to be, from what Hutch said, it is going to be very controversial.
Good.
And,
actually, maybe not.
In this day and age, where it's video games and violence and
that's scary.
Can it really be more controversial than the no Russian scene from Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah,
it's supposed to be about just as bad.
Oh God, that makes me feel like there's going to be like a.
But I think it's more of it just feels very real, and obviously with how good graphics are now, it looks very real.
Yeah.
And I think it makes it's supposed to be very uncomfortable in certain parts.
I mean, from a gameplay standpoint, if it's relevant to the story, like I feel like scenes like that, albeit hard to watch or play through, like if it's relevant to the story, it could be like a big piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy they made the decision to include it and keep it in there. I know with No Russian, you actually had a point where you could opt out of that mission, and I'm sure they'll do something similar to that this time.
Yeah, I think as well.
But the timing of it with everything going on and people pointing fingers at video games once more, I mean, it's not the first time. It definitely won't be the last. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that that's still even like a topic of discussion.
Oh my God.
I mean, you see the people who are actually bring it up, and they're so out of touch. It's always the same type of people.
It's like, settle down, Ron. You've never held a controller.
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea what gaming even is, man. Like, calm down. You know, they played the Atari back in the day, or they went to some arcades. Like, come on. It's not like that. There's just so many people who are so out of touch that I think it's starting to kind of die down, that kind of mindset, but it's still just brought up way too much. But there's studies to obviously combat that stuff. So, but what else? We got Borderlands 3. We've been playing Borderlands 3.
It's so good.
It's good.
So good.
It's a great game. I mean, looter shooters.
That last, like, I won't talk about it because I don't want to ruin it for. Well, I mean, people have been watching, but that last chapter or whatever we just went through, where it was like, it was
fantastic.
The hits to all the previous games. Yeah. They're doing a really, really, really good job with it, and Yeah.
A lot of
If you're a fan of the
nostalgia.
previous games, you will love a lot of the missions. I mean, we probably haven't even put a dent in the game yet, and I feel like we spent most of our time gambling over at Moxie's. But
Yeah, for sure. We have issues and scratching.
come home from a mission with 200K.
I need more slots. I need more
and,
slots. No, it's a great game. The performance issues are really kind of bugging me at this point. Like, I know that I have a pretty monster rig, like when it comes to my PC, and like I've been struggling to get like 50 or 60 FPS, and I'm not the only.
the new drivers.
I did, and but like I've been reading up on it, and I'm not the only one. There are actually a ton of people who are having issues with this game performance wise, and I just feel like at this point, like, you're a AAA title, like you've been on PC before. Like you should, like I feel like it should be figured out by now, you know? I don't know. That one's just it's a great game.
It's got a lot going on.
Oh, for sure. And even, you know, aside from the performance issues, it's still one of the best games that I think have come out this year. It's definitely not further on my list than Gears 5, but it's still like if you like Borderlands, you're going to love this Borderlands in my opinion.
You think for you it's below Gears of War right now?
Yeah. Just based on, I mean, and that comes from, you know, my Gears of War background and how much time I put into the versus.
Biased.
Yeah, I'm a little biased, but like I feel like there's 3 games almost, or maybe 4 games in one when it comes to Gears 5. You have the campaign, you have Escape, you have Horde, and then you have, you know, True Versus. Like I'm never going to put in that many hours into Borderlands. You know, I'm just never going to do that. Maybe some people will.
And we got the map builder coming out for multiplayer,
the map builder,
too.
Yeah, there's just a lot.
I mean, it's out for Escape right now. I'm so excited for that. Oof.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. But other than that, man, Borderlands 3 has been a great experience. I think it's one of those games where you absolutely have to play with other people. You know, it's so much more fun as a co-op experience. So we're like, how many hours are we into it? Like, I want to say more than 10. We're like 15 hours.
10.
12 to 15 hours, I'd say.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
I don't know how long it is.
Great. Like I said, I don't think we put a dent in it because we've been messing around a lot. There's a lot in that game, and it's been a blast. Like we were having a lot of fun with skins and
our first vault? Like we just got done with that?
Yeah. I feel like we're just seeing like certain gameplay aspects for the first time, and I'm like, what the heck? Haven't we been playing for like 15 hours?
We just got our 4th weapon slot. Like we don't even have our artifact. Like
That's
have
true.
stuff in
We're still missing something from our characters.
Do you guys want to touch on the what is it called? What is the mode called? Where viewers, so Twitch has
the built-in extension.
An extension which at first was amazing, right? Every time we leveled up, we would get these piñatas that would drop, and we would like crack it open, and we get like chat basically could vote on what is in these piñatas. It could be guns, money, like a bunch of stuff. It was really cool, and like people following along in the streams and stuff could also like get stuff and gain stuff from using the extension while watching the streams. It was awesome. We just encountered our first like boss. What is it called? Like
it's a badass event.
Badass event.
Yeah,
where the chat can vote and basically like level up characters in the game that we're fighting. If we're fighting a boss or something like that. And we were level like 15, 16 at the time.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
And chat just kept on like juicing this dude up. He was like level 21. So we were like 5 levels underneath him, which if you've played Borderlands, that's pretty significant. And we were lighting this dude up we had to be fighting him for a good 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Before we killed him. And it was just not a good time.
They made it so he regened health at one point, and they nerfed our damage output. And so they were essentially, the chat is able to, through the extension, vote on different like multipliers and effects that it can put into the game. And so we were facing this boss for just an astronomical amount of time. It was kind of annoying. And I think at that point we were like, okay, we need to turn this extension off, or at least turn this portion of the extension off. But other than that, I
think the way they have it set up is for like, I don't think they have it scaled for how many people you have in your chat. Where votes still all value like the same amount. And I think what we're running into is when it's like you or Tucker or Vern, is there's so many people that will vote immediately that they're power leveled instantly, and we have no chance of stopping this thing. I think I think maybe they just need to, I don't know if that's even possible. I think that's probably one of the issues with it.
Maybe.
The problem I had was that it didn't seem like it was any harder. Like the boss wasn't harder. It wasn't like melting us or like going through different forms or phases. It was it just took more bullets to kill. Like we were sitting there, we all just ran out of, it wasn't like none of us died unless we were like killing ourselves to get more ammo, because we were literally running out of ammo during this thing. So it was just like sitting there like pointing and clicking at this bad guy for 45 minutes, just wasting all of our ammo. And then when we finally do kill him, he drops a green and a white.
Yeah, he dropped
and we're just the most defeated, dude. We're going into the next room with absolutely nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
So it just like wasn't very rewarding.
It would have been far different if it had different like gameplay mechanics as the boss went on, but it was literally just a
or
bullet
just
sponge.
dropped like a legendary,
Yeah,
like, oh,
something
they're
worth it.
fighting someone that's 5 levels above them. Chat voted on this. It's extremely, like, the game knows it's extremely hard for that, like that point in the game. Like, why not drop something a little bit better?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think the extension is actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
I just, that one moment in the game
What do you
very
guys think
frustrating.
about these games like implementing more extensions like that to kind of incorporate, you know, different platforms, Mixer, Twitch, YouTube gaming, whatever it is? Do you guys think that is like something that's going to be in more games in the future? Or do you guys think it's not a tech that's going to last a while, or what do you guys think?
I think it's gonna be around. I think it's something we can expect. I like how they have it in Borderlands. I like the old concept behind the badass event is cool, that you can have like this lobby waiting and people get just randomly pulled in and get to play a character against us, and allows them to like interact with the stream. I like that.
Do they actually physically play it, or is it just their name?
I'm pretty sure they play it.
I thought it was just their name, because I'm pretty sure.
Well, then that's not as cool.
It's not as cool.
Fucking step it up, Borderlands.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Because
I would want
a much better idea. You're welcome. You cannot use that without my permission. It's mine.
That, you know what that essentially is? That's like Evolve. What was it? Evolved or Evolved?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about. It was like the 4v1 monster.
Yeah.
You got to say the monster. It's almost essentially like that in Borderlands. You become a boss. I don't think they actually played. I think it just puts a viewer's name as the boss.
You would think with all of our complaining that they would have stopped trying and just let us win. That dude was fighting the entire time.
Yeah.
Was it? I thought it changed the name. The name changed to something different. Oh, maybe it was because I quit out of the game. So my sound wasn't working. I think maybe that's why.
I don't remember.
There has been a lot of bugs with Borderlands as well. Like we had people fall through the map. We've had crashes, audio bugs. I mean, I crashed yesterday.
The audio is probably the worst thing.
Yeah, the audio can be
like,
weird.
It seems like whoever is party leader, it's like flawless for, and then it's kind of hit or miss for everyone else. Like there'd be some sections where Deez is a party leader last time, and he was like, "Oh, this music in this section's dope," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I agreed. Sick gun sounds, bro."
We're like, dude, I don't hear any music. What are you talking about? Yeah, a little weird, but honestly, all in all, Borderlands 3, solid game. Wish it performed a little.
It's awesome.
If you're playing on console, you probably haven't heard or seen any of these issues we're even talking about. This is like apparently strictly PC from what I've been reading. Everything else has been pretty good. So all in all,
I literally just was bitching about the game for the last 15 minutes. Like all in all, it's a fantastic game.
It is a fantastic game. And I actually really do hope that there's more extensions like the Echo extension for other games. Especially with stuff like Borderlands, you know, where you can see a player, like you go in, you're like, oh, this player's playing this character. You see all his skills, you see all his loot. Like, that's amazing. You don't have to sit there and ask the same question over and over and over and over. You click on the extension, you find out. Boom, you go on to the next streamer, you find out all their information. And then, you know, you see how they're playing their builds. It's just so much better. It's for Twitch or for interaction and just having that information available to the viewer. I think it's amazing. And can be utilized in so many ways.
From a content creator's point of view, like obviously we're all streamers, we're all the YouTube and stuff. Like from a content creator's point of view, I think the extensions are incredible, and I think they will continue as streaming continues to grow. I think like more and more games will start incorporating that stuff. You even had like a little like indie games that like I played a scary game that was able to incorporate chat, like they can vote and like put in jump scares and stuff. So I think from content creation side of things, it's really, really cool. But I really hope it doesn't. Well, I guess if they're just extensions, the Borderlands one came from the makers of Borderlands, from Gearbox.
Gearbox, yeah.
I just hope it doesn't.
I've learned through my friendship of people within the industries. Twitch doesn't make any of them really.
No, it's all third parties to make those extensions.
All if the extension is good or bad, it is only because the developer makes it.
Yeah.
So
okay. So I just hope that it doesn't ever like take away from the game itself, like where like casual players feel like they're missing out because of it.
Oh, like their experience would be lessened because they're not using it.
Like,
I would agree with that.
Like all the people playing like that aren't streaming at the time or just like can't get pinatas or something like.
Well,
you know what I
and
mean?
that's
just what it is. I don't get pinatas. I only get pinatas because I'm playing with you guys because it doesn't have a mixer integration. So I get it because it's everybody who levels up in our party or whatever the toggle in for the feature.
Yeah.
So I get those pinatas from my leveling up because I'm playing with you guys. So I mean,
and that could be a little frustrating. Yeah.
Right.
But as a viewer watching, they're like, I don't get that.
I don't know. We literally were just bitching about not being able to see cutscenes that Brennan got to see in Gears 5.
And now you're not getting the loot drops.
Like, go play Borderlands by yourself and never get a pinata ever again. Like, that would tick me off.
I mean, the pinatas, I mean, they're not. I mean, a lot of the times you don't really get anything that's much better than what you're using. Usually it's just you use it. I've been crushing all those guns and just using it for more money to gamble. So I guess there's that.
Amen, brother.
Fueling.
That's really the only thing I've been getting out of it. I think maybe I think it's probably good for the first 10 levels when you're going through it. It'll help a lot. But yeah, I don't think it's something people should be too upset about.
Yeah.
Or just play with streamers.
Play with streamers, or just, I mean, I think it would still work if you had the extension, you turn it on and you're streaming to one viewer or even no viewers. Wouldn't it still work technically? It'd still drop the pinata, and then you could sit there and vote for it if you really want the pinatas. But again, yeah, they're not dropping like super crazy legendaries every time. I promise you. Most of it's just kind of bullshit.
I mean, it seemed really cool at the beginning. Like you crack open pinata at level 2 and get a purple, and you're like, and then realize it's still a doo-doo gun.
Yeah, it's quickly pretty much under leveled too. Like I feel like the weapon scores that are dropping down the pinatas are way lower than we actually are using.
Yeah.
So it's not even worth it, but
it's just more money, like D said.
But all in all, Borderlands 3, solid game. Really, it's been good. It's been a lot of fun. I'm excited to play more of it. We've got the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta that was just out this past weekend. It was PS4 exclusively. But it did have
it's coming out this weekend.
Yes,
for PC and Xbox as well.
I think it's for everything. Yeah, it's gonna be an open beta starting on Friday. I think this Friday.
And they're leaving it open to crossplay on all things.
Oh, really?
Right, there's no way to opt out of it. So they're gonna have PC players. So they want to get the feedback on how it's working. On like, is there massive advantages, that kind of thing. So they're leaving it open just to get that intel.
That's interesting. It makes sense. It being a beta, like it makes sense. But that
you know, I have the biggest.
Interesting.
I got the biggest grin on my face because I kind of I'm excited to play it now.
Well, you think,
yeah, you know, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. There's so many good console kids especially on PS4 for Call of Duty these days. I mean, that's what they play exclusively. I get it, but
I was getting destroyed in the beta.
I just couldn't aim. I just can't aim on a controller. I feel like my game sense is there, but then I'm just getting out aimed by every single one of these kids that are freaking bunny rabbits. You know, I can't do it. But I'm excited to play a mouse keyboard.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think people will be surprised. I think us PC players are gonna have that feeling of like, you know, Christmas noobs. And I think there's gonna be a lot of console players that can keep up.
We'll see.
For now,
so this will be a very interesting.
At least during the beta,
experiment.
I agree.
So how do you guys feel? I mean, the biggest conversation right now for Modern Warfare is minimap, no minimap.
The removal of it.
Should they add it back?
We kind of were going back and forth. Me and Deez were when we were playing together.
How do you guys feel about it?
I personally miss the minimap. I think though it's more so because I was new. Like we're all new to the game, right? We don't know the maps or anything like that, and so it was like really, really hard to navigate any of the newer maps without the UAV. And
without the minimap,
I think what's different about. With what?
Without the minimap.
Without the minimap. Well, I mean, because
you still have a UAV.
You need a UAV or a personal UAV in order to get the minimap and see the map at all. And with this Call of Duty, what's different, and you commented on this when we were playing, is that like there's so many different levels to the house. Like they're utilizing rooftops and things now, and there's so many like different crevices on these maps that people can like lurk and jump to and get to and play from. And not having the mini map and being able to like kind of see what is on the map. Like I'm running to the edge of the map thinking like people can hide up in this house and stuff. I don't know. I just think as a newer player to the maps and stuff, I felt like it would be beneficial to have the mini map. But that being said, I think once everyone gets their hands on it and gets used to the game, it won't be as
Didn't they
important.
add the mini map in, but it still just didn't show players
Yeah,
for
it's
that
just the
specific
map.
reason? So
It'll
they did
show-
that.
It'll show you
Okay.
where your teammates are, but it
Right.
will not show gunfire.
okay.
So I didn't play it when they added that. So I just played it with
That's
no
fair.
mini map.
It was nice to just see where openings were on the map and where to fill or where to kind of know where to expect people to come from.
Yeah.
I liked that, but at the same time, I also liked having no mini map. I think what the reason people are camping so much right now is because the footsteps are so loud that it's not beneficial for you to run around because anybody with a headset can hear you. So I think once they tune that down a little bit, if they're going to go this realistic route, I don't know anybody. I mean, I don't know. Maybe people are that loud when they run, but I've seen some movies where some people can move around. They look pretty quiet. And I don't know why everybody's running around in Tim's with bells on. I don't get it.
It's hard for me because like when I was playing, there'd be games where I was like, man, I'm so glad there's no mini map because like I was using a suppressor, I was running around, and I felt like I was really sneaky and I could flank teams and come up behind them. And then other times, like I would get killed or teammates would just keep dropping by the same dude in the corner. Oh, he's camping. We had no idea where he was. Couldn't find him, couldn't get to him. I had no idea, especially because, there's teammates that aren't in comms with me, and so they can't communicate, where this guy is. So I just have no idea. This guy's just sitting in a corner, racking up 20 plus kills, trying to get kill streaks. Then he has a chopper gunner, and then the game is just a mess. So it's like I see where the frustration is, and I see why people are like, without a mini map, this is just Battlefield. I don't think that's the case. I think gunplay felt so very much like Call of Duty. Still, despite how like different this one is, but I don't know. I'm in the middle. I want to play more of it. I want to see. I think that it's kind of a nice change of pace, not relying on that mini map so heavily. Once we get all the maps down and kind of figure out like where the choke points are, where people are going to be sitting. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time before people are like, okay, I don't need a mini map. I'm good.
Do we need do we need more of the same Call of Duty? I don't
No,
think
we don't. We've had this. That's
how
the
long
thing.
we've been gone.
Yeah.
Look at this. We've all come from Call of Duty. We have at least played a lot of it.
Yeah.
And how much
More than
Call of
our fair
Duty have
share.
we played in the last 3 years? I didn't play one multiplayer map of the entire last game.
What was the last game?
Black Ops 4. I didn't play.
Oh, you didn't play any multiplayer. I played a little bit of multiplayer.
I played Blackout.
Blackout, yeah.
I
That
played
was the only
Blackout
thing I
mainly
played.
though. Yeah.
So a change
the
isn't a bad thing. I think just everybody hates change, no matter what you're doing.
It's scary.
So-
It's scary.
No,
I'm
so
happy.
you don't feel as good or as dominant as you once were.
I'm happy they're changing it all.
That's
I am.
true too.
Because I'm way more interested now in Call of Duty. Like Modern Warfare looks really good. It looks appealing. It looks like, oh shoot, I would play the shit out of this on PC if it's really this solid game that it's supposed to be. Like this will be fun. So I'm excited.
I know for the beta over the weekend they rolled out things slowly. Like the first day there was only like a select couple of maps, and then they were like locked your level at 10, and so you couldn't access a lot of the guns and stuff like that. And I know that they rolled that out. This weekend coming up, will we have like more stuff available to us like immediately?
Well, it was up to 20 as of last night when I played. You go all the way up to 20. I'd imagine they probably keep it at the same cap.
Okay.
I don't think there's any
Maybe.
reason not
I
to.
heard they were going to extend it again for this next weekend. Extend
I think
the.
they're going to go to 30 for the next.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
No, but
With the 2v2 alpha that came out a little bit ago, I really liked the gunplay. I don't think the mode itself was one of my favorites, but I really liked the gunplay, and I like the different variations of guns that we were able to use during that. But I found myself not being able to use a lot of those setups or whatever that I was curious about in the in the beta, just because they weren't available to me. So I was hoping that next weekend we'll have more stuff, but.
I just want to be able to use anything besides the freaking deployable cover as the special. I don't know what it was.
Use your
exactly.
bullet box.
That's what I ended up using. But like, man,
Same.
playing HQ and then running around a corner and you see 4 dudes dropping deployable shields and they're set up waiting for you. You're like, Give us something else to use so we can spread these out a little bit, man. I'm sick of this deployable
It seemed
cover.
like there was a lot though. I feel like having that such a small sample size of deployable. What are they called?
Deployable shields.
But that whole section, the ammo box.
I'm not really sure.
Whatever. You guys know. There was a bunch of them though that you could select from. So I think the variation will make that a little bit better, a little bit more bearable.
Now, what were those called? They weren't perks. They were like I don't know.
Specials? Something.
I don't know. They were like special equipment. It was like special equipment. But it was something like that. Yeah. There was a bunch of different ones. But there was a ton of them. There actually was. I mean, it was like field ops. Yeah, there was attack insert in there. There was a trophy system in there. There was like a trophy system, dude, in this game. Like when we were playing HQ, I was like, I wish I had the trophy system unlocked. You could put that trophy system in down in the point, hold it. Like it would be that. There's gonna be so many different ways to play it when all those unlock, which would be super nice. So I think that's gonna be
interesting because it's kind of building metas for competitive COD.
For sure.
Like you're gonna have like, okay, you need, and I think that was kind of a thing with the most recent one, but you need someone to play the trophy system or a deployable shield. Like you're gonna have to have those different roles filled. So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Be a good game.
Yeah, I think COD might be back after this. We'll see though. I don't know. I feel like I kind of say that every year because I like, it's the honeymoon stage and I get really into a game, and I thought Blackout was going to be, the thing to bring COD back, and it was for a little bit. Like I think a lot of people really liked Blackout. Unfortunately for me, I play on PC and the PC community died. Like everyone stopped playing Blackout on PC. Which sucked.
That was the issue.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to play it on console, man.
The crossplay is going to be good, and then obviously they say it's a rumor. I'd say it's coming. The BR that's just supposed to be a standalone free to play.
Free to play. Yeah, I mean I've been hearing the same rumors. I would imagine it's true. And
it's got all the core mechanics in the game already. Door openings. It's got one of the. I think it's called Cyber Attack. Is like a new S&D mode. It's like a one bomb. It's in the middle of the map. You grab it, then you got to go plant it at a bomb site. But you can revive your teammates during it. So that game mode will be able to play in the beta. It was out during the weekend.
Weird.
But
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. When I played it at the press event, it was a fun game mode because there's a lot of clutchability to it.
Wait, I think we got our hands on at the Twitch Sells Out event. Wasn't that the game mode you guys were playing?
No, we were playing Blackout.
Oh.
Yeah, that was that was just a different version. That was Blackout on a different map. That was on the Alcatraz map or something like that. It was like nighttime. Yeah, we were. Gotcha. It was just normal Blackout. So there is some other gaming news I wanted to talk about. We got there was confirmation that in Cyberpunk 2077, which I know all of us, I'm sure, are very excited for. Mike, I'm pretty sure we've talked about how excited you are for that game.
I've already told May her and I are going on a break. So,
well, this is perfect because unfortunately you won't be able to fulfill that missing link with Keanu in terms of romance in Cyberpunk 2077. You cannot romance Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk 2077. Unfortunately.
Good.
What do you mean good?
Because if you live out that fantasy, it's no longer a fantasy. You did it. Now I can just keep that in my mind and use it whenever I need it.
That's the hottest take of the day.
Man, I'm disappointed. I wanted to make sweet love to Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk.
Well, you can't.
Well, I wish I could. Well, you can't. You know what? That breaks my heart.
Well, you know what?
Cannot believe you can't romance Keanu.
And get over
He's just, I
wonder if they give you some like fun. It'd be cool if you could do some fun stuff where he'll just play around with you, but he's obviously it's not there. But you could try to flirt with him, and he just like smacks it out of the air. I could think that would be cool.
That would actually be great.
But there's no way you could actually make him fall in love or get some.
Dude, Keanu just completely
shoot your shot, and
he just curves you the whole game. That would actually be so good. That would be great.
He just gets in
a whole side mission.
Gets in a car and just drives away. He's out of your game for the rest of the game. That's it. You ruined it.
Dude, gone. Oh my god, that would suck. I would cry. The one guy to push Keanu away from you in a video game. God, dude. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but there was actually there was talks of a Red Dead Redemption, the original one, the first one, not Red Dead Revolver, but Red Dead Redemption, which was only a console game. There was a fan-made emulation project that was being made, and people were talking about it, getting excited because the game unfortunately just never came out on PC. But it was just announced that Take-Two Interactive ordered an into development to that fan, said, hey, you got to stop making this. You can't make this anymore. So apparently we're not getting this Red Dead Redemption emulation. I know there's like for me, I'm a huge Red Dead fan. I was so excited to actually play Red Dead Redemption on PC. We always wanted one, and we were going to get one, but apparently Take-Two Interactive said no. And
that just recently
could that be because there you have one coming?
Well,
that was my thought. That's literally what I said.
The Halo one, when Halo, they had the thing going on here on Twitch, and they shut it down. And then it was a year later, it's coming out now, and now we're gonna get to play it.
I would
like maybe they release like a founders pack or something. I don't know, just something where like, oh, you can buy Red Dead 2 and Red Dead. Like,
just knowing Rockstar and what they did with GTA 5, I would find that so hard to believe. Like,
release it on every platform 17 times?
Yeah, like, no, like that's the thing. If Rockstar is going to release a PC version of anything, it's going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not going to be the original Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
So that's why I think at this point it's just them telling, no, you cannot use our IP, you can't use our game. Like, essentially just corporate nonsense. Like, you can't touch this. Like, don't do this. So which sucks.
That's fair, I guess.
But can you help us make Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC? You're hired.
I mean, I hope, but based on what the guy is like, I read some quotes on him. He doesn't seem very happy about it. So I don't think that is the case. I mean, I hope, man, if we could get a Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC with all those ultra graphics, 144 frames. Oh my, yeah. It would be amazing.
Such a ham, dude.
Online.
Such a ham.
Woo!
Just hit the guy up and just go play it at his house.
Oh yeah, let me just hit the guy up.
Invite him over.
Hey, man.
Just have him develop it in your house so it's on land.
It's on a single hard drive.
Put him in your yacht.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Let's do that. Put him in my yacht down in my basement, huh?
Yeah, that little moat you built in your basement, that giant mansion of yours.
Why would I build a moat?
So you can ride it
out. What the hell?
Yeah.
In my basement? Just a moat in my basement. Think about that. That doesn't make sense. What's in the middle of the moat?
Sense.
Huh?
Land, duh.
Stupid.
What?
It's what a moat is. A moat is land in the middle surrounded by water.
Obviously.
I'm well aware of what a moat is, but why would I build it in my basement?
So the land's in the middle.
Why? Brennan, I don't question what you do with your money. It's your money.
Oh my god, dude.
And you got a lot of it. Wow.
You're right. It's my personal sex island. In my basement, in the moat, in between the moat.
It's like this one actually came with the house. Yeah. That's what I'm selling points.
Dude, the value of the house would skyrocket.
Island in the basement. Perfect place for my yacht.
I don't even want to know.
Maybe limit buyers, but
yeah, I was gonna say I don't even want to know what kind of buyers that thing would attract.
To that one person, you probably could make it like at least 25% more than you would have without them.
If I made a moat, bro, my house would be worth so much money. They'd be like, man, this is just architecture.
No, I'm
like
saying
at its
25%
finest.
More to that person who wants the moat.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, absolutely.
Like, I don't even have to build it now. It's already there.
Somebody's like, honey, we need a moat. I don't think we do. We need it.
And this
guy has the moat.
It's on my list. An island in the kitchen, a moat in the basement.
Oh my god, dude, it's genius. I don't think that'd be structurally sound. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it could be dangerous.
Science is crazy.
No, you're not an architect.
You're right. I'm not an architect.
It's a fair point.
But I think it's just common sense that a moat in your house is probably dangerous.
You know what? I think next week we should have an architect on the podcast.
Yeah, that would be great. And then they can tell me if they could actually create some type of building or house that could sustain a moat inside.
We'll really break it down.
Now I'm really curious if this is even possible.
All right,
so
write that down.
We got more games to talk about. We got probably the most important game of 2019 coming out, and it is being released by none other than KFC. They're releasing Colonel Sanders Dating Simulator.
Baited me.
I can't believe this is real.
You baited me. I really thought I missed something that was coming.
It is a Colonel Sanders Dating Simulator. I don't really know what that is.
It looks very similar to, what was it, Dream Daddy?
Is this an official KFC game?
Yes. This is real.
Yeah.
This is real.
Well, that's the thing is a lot of these companies are coming into the gaming space, and KFC Gaming is one of those companies, and they thought that a dating simulator was the route to go. And honestly, I can't knock them for that.
It's kind of smart. I mean, Dream Daddy was. There's a lot of people who streamed it. It was a funny game.
That game is gonna get played all over Twitch. The moment it
oh,
comes
for
out.
I will
sure.
play it for sure.
I'm gonna
Everybody
sex the
is-
Colonel. Yes, please.
Wait, do you
If you
play
think
as the
about it-
Colonel?
No, you
No,
have to
you're
try
trying
and
to sex the
him.
Colonel.
try
You're
to-
trying to get his. You're trying to get his
I think-
spices, bro. You're trying to get the
Oh.
recipe.
I think that's what it is.
Ooh, I
I
can't
mean, that's
wait.
more enticing than playing as the Colonel and trying to sex someone else. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get with the Colonel,
You're trying-
man.
Okay.
He's got them.
Interesting.
At the end of the
tenders.
game, it lets you know
what
how
I'm
many
talking
of the
about.
spices you unlocked.
Oh.
And that's I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm
like
just
how
thinking that's
Mike's
it should-
so like sure about this, and he just found out about the game. He's like, I helped develop it. Actually, I am
It
Colonel
just makes it
Sanders.
just makes the most sense that's what you would be working for. You're not working for his heart. You want his spices.
You want his recipe? I mean,
That's
okay,
it.
fair enough.
Come on.
I want his gravy.
Okay.
Is,
Okay.
is that what we're going for?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, fine.
good. I can't wait
Kill
to
it. You
get Colonel
deserve it.
Sanders gravy in that dating sim. So
It's gonna
actually,
be
it
better
reminded
than
me,
your
and
biscuit.
you might have seen this, Mike, during football. Did you see the KFC Rudy 2
did.
commercial?
Dead. It was pretty
Oh
solid.
my God. I
It
could
was
not
pretty
believe that they got Sean Astin to actually be in this Rudy parody for KFC. It was genius. If you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
obviously we can't show it on this, or you can't listen to it right now because that's
Could
copyrighted.
reenact it.
But it's please
ready?
do.
It's
actually.
basically Rudy, but he doesn't want to be a football player. He wants to be Colonel Sanders. And it's called Rudy 2. And it's literally Sean Astin. Like, it's so good. And if you haven't seen the original
Doesn't
Rudy
he
movie,
transfer to another? Doesn't he transfer to another school at the end of it? Like he's not with the Fighting Irish anymore.
Something like
It
that.
looked like he transferred to somewhere in Kentucky.
KFC
Like
University.
some red school. I don't know where he went.
Oh my God. But it killed me, dude. I was dying when I saw it. It was a genius commercial. And the Colonel Sanders dating simulator just kind of reminded me of that. But it blew me away that they actually, Sean Astin was like, yeah, this is a good idea. Like, I definitely want to be a part of this Rudy 2 parody for KFC.
Memes run the internet.
I mean,
now, man.
I mean, Stranger Things. Lord of the Rings was a long time ago.
It's true. He hasn't been in a lot.
Stranger Things. He's gone. Sorry if I spoiled that for you. You should just keep up.
Wow, dude. Wow, spoilers. But he was great in Stranger
but
Things.
man,
He was
that's
fantastic.
KFC money's probably not bad money.
No, it's probably great money.
and they're delicious.
They have
as
they,
well.
they
It's
have a pretty
delicious
good
money.
marketing team. I'll be honest, they have a pretty good marketing team. So KFC, if you're looking to sponsor some podcasters, let us know. We got you.
Amen.
I'd love to play your Colonel dating sim. I'm in. I'm 100% in. So we got
Shouts
more
out.
gaming news. This one's pretty big, and I feel like this one, Mike, you can talk a lot more about. If you guys did not know, we previously talked about it on the show, but we talked about kind of, unfortunately, the fall of OpTic Gaming, their acquisition by Immortals, kind of what was going on behind the scenes there. Mike has left. But
There was one thing.
the former CEO, OpTic Hex, he's been a huge advocate of trying to keep OpTic Gaming kind of in that, kind of the vision that he had originally. A lot of things kind of happened behind closed doors that he unfortunately just didn't have a say in. But recently, the end of OpTic has happened, and now we just heard that OpTic Hex is now going to be the co-CEO of NRG. And so I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about that, Mike, kind of what that means for kind of, all the OpTic fans and you, who's been a content creator with OpTic forever, and just kind of, what that means moving forward.
Well, it's not the end of OpTic. OpTic's still a thing. Immortals and that whole parent company, they're running it. There's some people that are staying on, some creators that were there, Rallied, who streams on Twitch. Hypoc is another guy. They're sticking around. I don't know what their vision of what OpTic is now. It's just not including the heart of OpTic.
Yeah.
We're gone. The logo's still there. The fans, if they want to still be fans of it, it's still there. So it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird to see OpTic doing something and then not being a part of it for the first time ever since. I mean, I was there since the creation of OpTic, so it's super weird to see it. But I think it's a change isn't too bad. With how bad everything ended with the whole sale of everything, so I think a fresh start is nice at this point.
So OpTic is going to still be kind of its own entity, but or
Underneath Immortals.
but underneath
Yeah,
Immortals.
yeah, they own it. They run it. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I have no idea what their plans are. They can't. I don't know. Really can't compete in anything because most things are franchise, and I don't think they would bring the brand to. I don't know. I don't know if they're just going to leverage the social media to like the following we have to use things, to promote whatever their ongoings are. It could just be something as simple as that.
Well, I would imagine that like the fan base, the OpTic fan base, like as much as they're
coming.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like they're attached to the name OpTic.
No.
They're attached to the people that make up OpTic.
The people that made OpTic.
And so
fuck OpTic. I'm kidding.
but like they are. They're gonna be with the way where Hex goes and you go and and anybody else that has been a big name in OpTic forever. Like wherever you guys go, they're gonna follow. So I feel like it's not necessarily about the OpTic name; it's about the people that have been included in that. So
for sure, and it's actually it's benefited that it's been like this weird limbo thing where nobody knows really what's going on. How bad everything went is super public. So it's not like, oh, Hex, shit the bed and ruined it. You ruined OpTic, and that obviously can, push a lot of fans away. And while it was quiet, that kind of happened. A lot of people, like obviously 100 Thieves pops up. You have somebody who was beloved by OpTic fans, starts this thing up that is running a lot better. They're doing everything right. Yeah. And you have OpTic over here who's like, what the fuck is everybody doing? So now that it's public, I think everybody will come back. 100 Thieves isn't around in Call of Duty anymore. They're not following the franchise model. So it works. And also, we wouldn't be able to even bring OpTic into the Call of Duty World League. So it's maybe it's a bittersweet thing, but this ended up it would have had to happen anyways. OpTic could not be in COD World League. You have to make all new IPs for their league. So
yeah, right. Because they're franchising just like CS:GO did. And I mean, like
Overwatch League.
Oh, sorry. Overwatch League. Yeah. So it's all location based too, based on the city that the teams would be in. Yeah, I mean that's interesting for the sport or the esport of Call of Duty. I'm really curious to see how that goes, and like the buy-ins to franchise those teams are ridiculous.
They're chunky.
Ridiculous. I mean, you have to have some hefty investments to be able to even get your team involved. So they filled out the league, but that's another reason why I'm kind of worried about this game. The single player, if the single player is controversial, I think that might scare away investors,
non-endemic brands, because the whole reason Overwatch League is making money is because they have people coming in like Coke and T-Mobile and things that aren't typically
huge brands.
They're not in gaming. They don't have like a headset, major headset thing that you usually see with these leagues. So if this game is gets picked up as a bad game, it might
cause those waves,
really cause problems.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm hoping that they differentiate the two, that the multiplayer is not the single player, but
I didn't even think about that, but that is scary, especially for them more so.
And then you're dropping 25 mil to walk into it. I'm like, what the? Not my money.
Well, yeah, these big brands don't want to be associated with like these controversial, things.
Well, of course not.
That makes it totally makes sense.
You have the brainless that just type with their foreheads, and then they're just like, oh, this is why. This is the reason. Schools get shot up and things. It's because there are Call of Duties.
Right.
They don't want to deal with it. If they don't have to deal with it, they're not going to deal with it. They'll just keep their money and put it somewhere else. So. Right.
Well, we'll see how
it'll be all right.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I mean, we have no idea at this point, but I think it's amazing. I've known Hex for a long time. Obviously not as long as you, Mike, but I've known him for a really long time. To see what he did with OpTic, I knew Hex when OpTic was pretty much at its infancy, and to see what he did with that brand and to where he got with it was just absolutely incredible along the way. So to see him,
the way.
I mean, it really did. I mean, OpTic was
there wasn't any esports like organizations there at the time. It was like YouTube teams.
Yeah, and OpTic was even the biggest.
This was like the first.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were. We were a YouTube team, and then I was doing like competitive stuff, and convinced Hex after the first Machinima Frag Cup thing and how well that did. That we need to go pivot and let's get into Call of Duty, and then picked up some 15-year-old kid named Matt Hag, and then the fucking world changed.
And the rest was history.
Yeah, so it's been crazy. So yeah, we were there. There was obviously COD Esports was going around, but we brought a fan base to it.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Which is something it didn't have. So some argue it doesn't have still if OpTic's not there, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what Hex will do with NRG. I mean, NRG also signed the former OpTic Gears of War team, which actually kind of just works out perfectly.
It kind of does, isn't it? Weird how things like that work out.
It kind of worked out perfectly, you know, because everyone was like, "What the heck?"
Because they're so dominant.
They're so dominant.
Like, why would you ever want to get rid of that?
Yeah, they don't lose.
They do not lose. They're so dominant, and then so they changed names. They instantly won the first Gears of War 5 tournament. They instantly won it, and they
played under Tox, I think is what it was. Which is
something like that.
Which is toxicity.
Which is what I believe is the OpTic Halo team that we dropped for free because Jay's an idiot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But they did play for Tox.
You know when teams, like, if you have an asset, you have a team, usually you sell that team, or you give them the rights to acquire the team.
Correct.
Jay just said, "Oh, this team that's won everything."
Yikes.
Let him go.
Yikes.
He wanted to do it to the Call of Duty team.
Yikes.
Come on, man.
I mean,
come on, man.
There's
make some money, you dumb. It's a business. If you're gonna get rid of them, make money.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that their Gears team is just incredible, and so to see Hex sign with NRG or to become the co-CEO, and then the fact that they're obviously now with NRG, that Gears team is just, it's cool to see that kind of come back together.
It's a nice little fit.
It is a nice little fit. So, and
I think it was an amazing acquisition by NRG.
Oh, it is.
Like they saw that opportunity and they jumped on it, and that is they could have done any better by it.
Yeah, I don't know the folks over at NRG, but I trust Hex and where he wants to go, especially after how bad this last one went. So
lessons learned.
I think, a lot. Yeah, well, unfortunate lessons learned. But
sometimes that's just how it has to happen. But it won't happen again. I'm sure of that.
It better not.
It better not.
Too old to be doing this third time.
So we've got TwitchCon coming up. TwitchCon is right around the corner.
It's so close.
I'm gonna hug the shit out of you.
I know. There's gonna be a lot of friendship. It's the fourth TwitchCon. This is the fourth one now. Fourth TwitchCon, I think. Is it the fifth? No.
Fourth.
And it's back in San Diego, which is where the second one was.
It can't be the fifth because May and I started talking at the first TwitchCon.
First one was San Francisco.
I'll take your word for it.
Then it was San Diego. And then it was Long Beach. And then
the fifth one.
San Jose.
LA.
And then, no.
This is the fifth
San Diego.
One. That's five.
It was never
this
LA.
is the fifth one. This is the fifth one.
Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah.
I was right.
This is the fifth one.
Okay.
Holy
It just felt like the fifth one.
How does this math work out?
How does this mouth work?
Oh no, dude. He forgot an anniversary.
I've been at the first one. I've been at the first one. This is gonna be my fifth one, and now we're coming up on our fourth anniversary.
So you must have, I don't know.
I
don't think that works.
I don't know.
We slept through one of those years. It's fine.
Time's just been flying by too quickly. I don't
Somebody give me a calendar.
I'm telling you, this is the fifth one though. I mean, we just went through.
No, I know because I didn't go to San Jose because I'm not. Who goes to San Jose? Ever.
I did.
It wasn't that bad. I went. It wasn't that bad.
It's Long Beach was.
That's the thing.
I mean, I don't know how the San Jose one was. I did not care for the Long Beach one. San Diego I thought was the best one.
Oh, for sure. When they announced that it was going back to San Diego, I jumped on that. I mean, TwitchCon is probably the only convention that I'm like for sure going to every single year now. I've kind of scaled back the conventions. I mean, I met both of you guys for the first time in person at PAX East 2012, and I had gone to like pretty much every PAX.
Yeah.
Thereafter, PAX West, PAX East, PAX South, E3, like there's just a lot. There's a lot involved, and so I kind of like toned it down a little bit and told myself that TwitchCon was going to be the for sure every single year, and then we'll see what arises from there. But yeah, it's right around the corner. Literally, it's week and a half.
Right?
Yeah. It's next weekend.
Yeah.
Or not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. Yeah. So it's coming up. We talked a little bit about like, things to do and not to do at a convention, con etiquette in previous episodes. But we kind of want to just go. Yeah, go ahead. Take it away, Vern.
I
Tell
was
them.
just
Tell them
saying,
the people.
if you one like your biggest pet peeve when it comes to conventions, like we were talking about stuff that just to give you an example, like hygiene, personal hygiene at conventions,
Take
or like
showers.
proper etiquette, wear deodorant.
I feel like that's a given one. I feel like everybody complains about.
Fine.
Obviously,
Then why are
obviously
conventions
a lot of
so
people
smelly?
don't. My big thing is when everybody's like, people don't know how to like move through a crowd. It's like, I get like maybe you don't get out a lot, but it's like we're just going to give you like a demonstration. We're all walking down this line, and then this person will just stop, and then everybody walks into the back of the person because it's like, oh, what's that? It's like.
I feel like wait. That's not just
down the middle.
But that's not
You know
even.
what? And honestly, I'm so guilty of it too. Like I'll see somebody that I know, and like
I will run you over if you stop like that.
People do that in airports.
You're a big dude. You can do that.
People do that everywhere though. Not even just conventions. That's just everywhere you go. Like
just
in an
people.
airport,
Yeah.
I hate that. I'm getting to my gate. And someone just stops in the middle with their bags and like the whole group, and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna run into you or go around you. Why did you stop in front of me?
Yeah.
People are moving here.
Yeah.
You're not the only people here. That's just people don't know how to navigate anything.
That's my one. Don't do that.
Okay, yeah.
Don't do that. If I see you, I'm gonna slap you in the back of the neck. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually not going into TwitchCon at all.
Coming, you know, is from OpTic Tees.
I won't actually be in TwitchCon. I'll be at the dinners and the parties and all of that.
A lot of people do that.
Okay.
I mean, I've done that at previous conventions. You just go there to network, like meet people, hang out with your friends, go to the dinners. But like sometimes the convention, man, it depends on what the convention is. Like I felt that way about PAX recently. Like PAX itself is just not as good as it used to be, I feel like. So I just kind of stopped going to the actual convention unless I had something to do specifically. Yeah. But like
we also get the game. It's like we get spoiled now. We get the games.
Yeah,
a lot of
play,
the games that we used to go for.
The reason we would go to these conventions on top of seeing friends and doing the networking is to get some early footage of a game that we get to record and then fly back, edit it.
Now we're better off staying home.
Now we get those games before the PAX even comes out. So
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that changes.
That's why,
a little bit.
And I'm gonna continue to do this, but I'm trying to rally everyone for PAX South, man. PAX South is my favorite PAX. Everyone's like, "Oh, the convention's not good." You're not going for the convention anyways, dude. They got good food.
I don't like Texas.
Great.
I like San Antonio. I like San Antonio. It's good. It's a good area.
I hate San Antonio. I lived in San Antonio for like 3 months, and I immediately left.
It's good for a convention, or it's good for like hanging out and going to dinners.
I
and
broke my lease and left that place and moved to Seattle. I was like, I will not live here.
Oh man,
I remember that actually. I remember when you moved there.
And it's like it's not as crowded. It's just I don't know. It's perfect like friendship time. I feel like, but I get where you guys are coming from.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like Texas. I don't like San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. Dang, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know. I like the restaurants and I like the area. Like the
Riverwalk is beautiful. Like it's just, dude. It's just a cool area to hang out. If we're having friendship time, and it's not very expensive.
This man said the San Antonio Riverwalk is beautiful.
It's pretty nice.
I gotta take you some places, my friend, because you just went to Europe and went touring around. You're gonna say
I didn't say it was more beautiful than Prague. As far as conventions go, I would say San Antonio, the Riverwalk is more beautiful than I was gonna say Boston.
LA Live.
Boston. The history in Boston is actually like really cool to see. So
it's just too cold. Why do they hold TwitchCon when it's 15 degrees outside?
You'd think they would learn from it too. Like with the first blizzard they had at PAX and everyone was miserable.
I don't like it because all their buildings are tiny.
All their buildings are tiny and everything's so spread out in Boston. Everything.
I have to duck.
That's another thing about San Antonio. Holler back.
Frames. Like I don't want to be here.
The last time I was in San Antonio, I think I took one Uber. The last PAX South I went to. It was one Uber for one party. Everything else, every other party, every other dinner, every other thing, walking distance, dude. From my hotel to the convention center to wherever I needed to be, and that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if you guys want to, like, I don't know, bunk up at PAX South next year,
I ain't going.
I'm down. All right, fair enough. Shot that one down.
But TwitchCon, so Vern, Mike, I know you're not going to the actual convention, but Vern, do you have like your schedule? Do you have plans for TwitchCon, meetups, meet and greets?
Yeah. So last year they actually I didn't have an official meetup through TwitchCon or through Twitch, which was the first time ever, and it kind of was like, I don't know. I felt like, what's wrong with me? Like I like they.
There's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful.
They left you off.
There's a lot wrong with me.
You're breathtaking.
But
no, they just got to rotate that circle.
That's and literally, I reached out to them. They're like, "There's literally that was their excuse, pretty much." They're like, "Hey, that there's just too many partners," and I was like, "I get it. You know, I'm still salty, but I get it." But they gave it back this year. Apparently, me complaining. I didn't complain like that. But I have a meet and greet on Friday at 12:30 to 1:30.
Oh,
So if you guys,
I think you're in the same block as Steph.
As Sturf, yeah. So there's a couple buds there. Sturf, Ava, Lexi. I think are the only people that I'm actually familiar with in my time slot. Okay. But if you guys wanted to come hang out, I think you have a meet and greet as well.
Yeah, mine's on Saturday. I think at like 1 or 2 p.m. It's a 90-minute block, and it's after the afternoon sometime. It's a hefty boy, 90-minute block, so plenty of time.
Yes, many people like you. 90 minutes of people like you?
Probably not. I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Concerns. I literally talked about this on stream not too long ago, but like when it comes to like I complained about not having a meet and greet, but it was kind of like such a stress relief to not have that because I'm always so paranoid that I'm gonna like be scheduled for these things and like nobody's gonna show up, and so like I'm just sitting there watching everyone else. It's something that like it actually panics me. Like I'll be sitting there just watching everyone else have a meet and greet, and like
that happened to Hex and I at the Long Beach one where we ran out of there. They gave us a full hour. We ran out. There was not enough people for an hour, so we said we'll leave, and we left. So we stayed there early. We stayed there for the chunk where the people were. We waited like 10 minutes after 10 minutes after the line, wasn't there anymore, and we were like, all right, well, let's go get food.
Cool. Okay. That's
as long as you're thinking about the right way. I mean, I get some people get anxious about those things, but
I would rather it be that.
It's their loss. They don't get to meet you, Vern. It's their loss.
That's true.
Dude, let them.
But you got to think of this, Vern. You would rather have it be like that for the people coming to visit you than having the line capped and then somebody can't come and meet you because there's too many people. Like I would feel worse about that. Because like imagine someone comes to TwitchCon and wants to meet you, and then like, they can't.
Personally, I would feel worse. Well, I mean I'll be on the convention, and so I'm doing other stuff throughout the weekend. But like from a personal standpoint, yes. But like from a business standpoint, I think it's where a lot of the anxiety comes through. Like Twitch
no sponsor's going to be there just staring at your line. That doesn't.
But Twitch, a lot of stuff comes through Twitch in general, and like they didn't give me one last year for whatever reason. Like I want to continue to like be a part of what Twitch is bringing to the table, and so like I'm scared. I don't know. It's just like it's very very petty stuff about relevancy and like
online presence to do my job. Online presence as somebody who like stopped streaming for a bit and worked in business stuff. Online presence is way different than physical stuff. Like some physical, like look at athletes. There's some athletes that stream on here that they have less than 100 viewers, but go put them at a Dick's Sporting Goods and they have building, people around the building with jerseys ready for them to sign. So it's way different. What you do online is way different than somebody just waiting in line for you. So super different. Plus somebody's got to travel all the way. How many people live on the West Coast? It's expensive. Not everybody's got a lot of money. San Diego's expensive as shit to go to. All the hotels are like $300 a night. It's not a cheap con. So
I love you guys. Also,
if that helps calm your brain a little bit.
Baby.
Please.
You got your back.
Thank you. That was literally just bait for you guys to gas me up for a little bit because I was feeling a little down.
All right, so my Venmo is. I'm gonna text you my Venmo.
Perfect.
But if you guys are headed to TwitchCon, we do have meet and greets. We'd love to meet you guys. If you see any of us at the con or around the con, definitely say hello. Couple previous episodes, we kind of talked about proper etiquette, like how to meet streamers, how to say hello, how to approach people. If you guys want to go listen to that, definitely do that. It's basically this simple: don't be a creep, don't be weird, don't follow people, don't come up and say hello, be polite. Obviously, we're not going to be like rude to you. We're going to say hi back.
Start with your name. I'm still very adamant about that. Start with your name.
I'll ask you your name. You don't have to start with your name. I know how to talk to someone. Vern's just a weirdo.
I mean, if I'm approaching someone, hey, I'm Vern. It's nice to meet you. I watch your streams all the time, Brennan. Brennan, can I get a picture?
That's fine. And then I'll be like, hey, what's your of course. What's your name?
I don't want to feel like I'm an object, like
I'll be an object.
You are an object.
Fair enough.
Shove me in your no place.
I'm a person. Like I want to meet you. I want to talk to you. I want to have like an actual conversation, not just like I don't know. I mean, I'd love to take as many pictures as you want with me.
You can,
But-
and someone asked, do you want us to call you by your gamer tag or your real name? You can call me Brennan. You can call me Goldie, Gold Glove. I don't care.
We'll probably
Goldie.
respond to everything. I think like for other people, I've had interactions where they're like, "Oh, hey, it's me, Mike," and I'm like, "Nice to meet you, Mike," and they're like, "Oh, I'm Diesel in chat."
There
and I'm
you
like,
go.
Oh, Diesel, and like
Yeah.
like that. Then like I make that connection.
For sure.
So yeah, I mean that's super simple, you know.
There's definitely some things you shouldn't call me in chat. You know it because you're saying them all right now. So
What you giving us an example?
absolutely
so we know
not. No, because if you're listening to this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's perfect because these are things that just aren't necessary ever.
I'll make sure to compile a list for next episode.
Absolutely.
Don't worry. If you're listening to this.
That's fine. The next episode will be after TwitchCon, so hopefully we'll have a bunch of TwitchCon stories.
Apparently,
And
it's Brennan's last TwitchCon.
It'll be my
He's
last one
announcing it here.
because I don't want you calling me anything else besides those three things. But yeah, no, definitely go back and watch or listen to the previous episodes if you guys are actually curious, like on more TwitchCon etiquette and things to bring and be a little bit more prepared. But it's a thing to have fun. Go meet people, have a good time. You know, that's what the cons are all about. So should be a good time. We actually didn't talk about one game, which I know Mike hasn't played yet, but we've been thinking about hopping in together, and that's NBA 2K20. That released the same day as Gears 5.
I have it downloaded.
You do have
It fell to the wayside for a little bit because obviously, like coming from a Gears of War background, I was very, very excited to play it. We had the campaign to play through together, all three of us, and then obviously grinding the multiplayer. So it kind of fell to the wayside for a little bit, but I finally picked it up this week, and it actually kind of worked out because I heard they had a ton of issues and bugs and glitches and stuff. My career online mode, everything was not in the best shape. And then like literally the day that I picked it up, they patched it and I've been enjoying the shit out of it. It's been an absolute blast. What did you think? And Deez, I feel like you won't be able to wait because you haven't played it yet, but the prelude, what did you think about that, Brennan?
I mean, like voice acting, like the facial, it was hands down the best one they've done so far. I actually thought it was pretty good. Like the back and forth, the kind of the storyline, the lines of all the characters was pretty solid. Like there was a couple cheesy things. There was even one where I was like, whoa, you can't say that, 2K. That's a little. They were like talking about like knocking people offline, like DDoSing and like doxing people.
Dude, doxing,
doxing people, and I was like, bro, you can't do that. Like
he's losing at a game.
I think it's good that they say bringing light to it.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, I was like, whoa, 2K, that's like
he was
topical.
losing
That's
at a game
real.
he was playing 2K.
Yes, your character was asking to knock somebody off.
No,
He was like losing.
It was a talk show, and he's like, yeah, these kids handle it. Or I don't remember what it was, but it was essentially they were talking about like knocking kids offline or like doxing them essentially. But it was a normal conversation.
The way they did it was funny.
It was just. I was like, whoa, 2K, that's a little edgy, 2K. What are you doing? But I was shocked by that. But that kind of just proves that they kind of are involved. They're in touch, which is nice to see because I feel like they've been out of touch in terms of the voice acting and kind of the lines that these characters have.
I've been begging for a voice acting spot in there because I know for a fact that I could have brought some kind of dude. It has been so bad the past few years, and then they like I'm pretty sure that I showed up on their table and they were like, oh yeah, Vern noticed, he's really, really good, very capable, but Idris beat me out, so completely understandable.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why. Yeah, you were beat out. Yeah, it was definitely close though.
Yeah. I almost got Rosario Dawson's spot.
Nice. She's in the game.
She is in the game. Yeah,
nice.
they actually have a lot of actors you'll
big
recognize.
names. And so it was the actual story was really, really good. But the biggest gripe I have is that you and this, I guess this might be a spoiler.
Don't spoil it. Literally, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Pick your team.
There you go.
You pick your team.
You pick your. What do you mean? You pick your team in every single one of the 2Ks.
No. In the past, you would pick you would be like, okay, I like these three teams.
That's literally
what
you
might fall to them. You might fall to them, and you might not, depending on where you go in the draft.
But that's what you do in this one
you
too.
literally no.
In mine, I picked three teams, and then
you went to the first team.
Well, yeah, but I went to the three workouts. It gave me the choice of three teams.
But
though.
everything leading up that entire story completely irrelevant. It didn't matter. You literally could just started your my career, pick your team, and just go play on it. Yeah, because that's what happened. We didn't even get to see the draft this year.
No, that was weird.
A 15-second cutscene. All of a sudden, you're on your first pick team. Yeah. Like, congratulations, you made it to the league.
Yeah, it was pretty anticlimactic, dude. I was expecting like this big, drawn out draft. It was super epic, and it wasn't. Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I thought that was a little lame for me, just because I thought that was one of the coolest parts. Like, you spent the last 3-4 hours like grinding, like trying to move up your draft stock when really it didn't matter at all.
Yeah. But I like that they're starting to go, like, it was much better this time around. The story aspect.
The story, yeah, for sure.
And I like 2K20. I think there's actually a lot of animations that I've seen, kind of the more I play it, lighten up, like, that actually come out that I'm like, whoa, that's so much better than 2K19. Thank God they fixed that. Like, you can split double teams in 2K20. Like, have you seen that animation where a double team comes and you split them?
Because I'm a 7-foot giant who can't dribble the basketball.
As a guard,
so
I split double teams, and it actually looks so good. I'm like, oh my God, that's never been in 2K before. Like, I've never seen that animation before. So Mike has no idea what the hell we're talking about because he hasn't played it yet.
No, I've seen a little bit. I saw when you got roasted for the clothes you're wearing. I've seen a little bit.
Okay. They always try to roast your characters, man. Everyone tries to roast.
Your character's voice is way too deep. You should have picked a different voice.
You can't pick a different voice.
Oh, really? It's only one?
It's one voice for everyone. That's another thing that kind of sucks.
Step Up, and you can't tell me otherwise.
It's not Channing Tatum.
It literally is Channing Tatum from Step Up. It's not Channing Tatum. It's that character, whoever that character is.
That's so weird that they only had one voice.
Channing Tatum from Step Up?
If you listen to Channing Tatum, the way he speaks in Step Up, it's him.
How many times have you seen that movie?
Bro, come on, man. Fern knows
I love dance. I'm a sucker for dance movies, man. I've seen You Got Served at least 363 times.
You worried me there for a second because I thought you were trying to say that you only know Channing Tatum from Step Up. Like, that's where you know Channing Tatum from, and you were terrifying.
The voice in the game.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of his probably most prominent role.
Oh my God. You think? Okay. Well, we won't get into that.
No, it's the new one where he's a cop, isn't it? It's not the better one.
23rd Jump Street.
What the fuck else is he in? Magic Mike? He's in that, isn't he?
He is in Magic Mike.
Yeah. What else? What the hell else is he in?
He's in the 21 Jump Street is what it's called. He's in The World's End. Is that what it's called?
I mean, he has a cameo.
He has this tiny role in that. His best role ever.
He was in The Vow, Dear John, White House Down, She's the Man.
No.
Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, that was a terrible movie.
He's gonna be Gambit.
Oh, she's the man. Wait, isn't She's the Man with Amanda Bynes?
With Amanda Bynes, yeah.
Oh, before she went off the deep end.
When Amanda Bynes was,
she's doing all right. He's in Hateful Eight. Yeah.
Spoilers. Coach Carter.
Spoilers.
Hateful Eight. Yeah.
He was in Step Up to the Streets.
Yeah, but I still think 21 Jump Street is his
21. Those are his best
for
movies.
For me, that's his best movie.
I would agree with that. 22 Jump Street as well.
Hateful Eight's great, yes, but he's not.
He's not.
He was in the Lego Movie too. No. Just saying.
Oh wow, what a
true. Lego movies slap. I love them all. They're so funny.
Dude, I feel like the Lego games are pretty fun too.
No, I can't fuck with those.
They're like good little co-op games. You can just dick around on. They're not like anything super serious, but they're all like they're pretty good. They have like every type of Lego game ever. You want a Batman game? You want a Marvel Lego game? You want a
Star Wars?
They got everything.
They're just printing Lego money.
They're printing Lego money. They really are.
Theme parks. Their sets cost like $3,000. I don't get it.
Lego, man.
Like, who the fuck is buying all these Legos?
Kids,
like, I would love a Lego Death Star. Wow, you know how much is Lego Death Star? It's like
a lot.
Look, Amazon Lego Death Star. How much is this thing?
Too much.
Take a guess.
I don't even want to think about that kind of stuff.
Assembled or like by yourself?
No, you have to build this thing afterwards.
The Legos. Oh yeah, $150. No way, it's more than that. Come on.
Are you kidding me?
No, come on.
Yeah, I mean, right now the discontinued one is $2,500
for the discontinued one. That's a collector's item.
That doesn't count.
But the small baby bitch ass Death Star, it is trash. $500.
What?
Jesus,
That's
dude.
robbery.
I'm so
These are
out of
kids'
sync
toys.
with Lego. They're not
even
kids'
the good
toys.
Death Star.
They're not kids'
this
toys.
is like the starter set Death Star compared to the other one. $500.
You want kids' toys? Get them those big chunky blocks that don't build in
No,
there. They need to be creative.
That Duplo blocks.
Get 'em
Get the hell
Roblox.
out of here.
You know what?
kind of
I feel bad for these parents, man. Those
They're
prices
not
are
for the parents.
That's what I mean.
They're all for the parents.
The parents
they're
have
not
to
for the
pay
kids.
for it.
Yeah, for themselves.
While their kids. No, dude, no. You know,
Yes.
there's some parents. I'll get him this. I'll get him this.
there-
It'll keep him busy
I
for
ain't buying my kid no
fucking
Death Star.
Millennium-
At that age, they're not even gonna be able to build it.
Millennium
It's for
Falcon.
me.
75. First of all, this is not for a kid. 75,000 pieces.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not a kid.
Yeah.
Lego. Yes, Lego said no.
No, not 70. No, 7,500.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
75,000. I was like,
7,500.
it's the biggest
$800.
Lego thing I've ever seen.
$800.
800.
Yep.
Yeah, if that was like, if
That's
that was,
nuts.
if that's for $500.
Maybe you're right. Maybe
my kid
all
ain't going
these
near
ones
it.
are for like super fans.
So moral of the story is don't ever tell your kid about Legos.
Yeah, never. They don't exist to your kid. That's how you
Otherwise
save money.
otherwise
Legos don't
you will
exist.
be poor.
Jesus.
Well, what's this? I don't even know what a Lego is.
Yeah, no, it's
Spell it.
looks stupid. Looks stupid.
Spell it.
Well, Google says doesn't exist.
Oh my god, dude.
Then your little kid is just super smart. Alexa, Legos.
Yeah,
And
right?
she's start listing
no,
things
dude.
off. See, kids are gonna be way too smart. That's why I gotta.
They're
stay
gonna
away
buy
from
it straight off the Alexa. Oh, that's
No,
why.
no.
That's why you're staying away from kids, huh, Mike?
Yeah, that's why I'm not having one. They're too smart.
Do you have a?
Technology.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's move on. We got a lot more to talk about. We're already whoo. Is a hefty boy. So let's try to rapid fire some stuff. Oh, we talked about the Witcher Netflix series a little bit in
We
previous
did.
episodes.
And the release date got leaked, right?
Yeah, so the release date somehow, we think, there's a rumor that it got leaked. So an image got leaked on Facebook through the Netflix Facebook, and it had like a bunch of dates on it, release dates, and it mentioned December 17th as a possible release date for
This year?
of this year for the Witcher Netflix show, which is. And it looked pretty legit. Like I saw the image before because Facebook they took it down off their Facebook. But so I think it's legit. So December 17th is I'm pretty sure going to be the release date for the new Witcher Netflix show, which is going to be exciting.
I'm excited for it because it's obviously it's before the games, right? It's taking place. All
so
that.
yeah, it's based on the books. So it's definitely based on the books. And
so I don't know. I've never played. I know. Here it comes. I've never played any Witcher game. I know a little bit. I've played a little bit of Witcher 2, I think.
You could
but I
jump
never
into
finished
Witcher
it.
3
But-
and probably have a blast.
So it's cool. I'm excited to look because the world, is interesting to me, and the character's cool. So I'm definitely.
It's a super
Curious to
dark
see how it's
fantasy
gonna be.
world, and after Game of Thrones is over now, and that was definitely like the dark fantasy. And now I feel like people are kind of itching for another one they can kind of sink their teeth into, and so I think The Witcher could be that. So I think this is honestly perfect timing. So December 17th. Hopefully that's the day.
Keep your eyes
Yeah,
peeled.
keep your eyes
into
peeled.
it.
Yeah, it
I'm
should be
into
good.
Yeah.
This is good for the kind of the gaming world, and good in the sense that things are actually starting to be taken serious when it comes to this kind of stuff. I mean, we over the last 5-6 years of streaming, we've heard a lot of cases of swatting, the swatting prank that's been happening to a lot of streamers and content creators and just people in general. It's been kind of this thing that is just, it kind of took the internet world by storm. Like it was happening everywhere to everyone at one point. They finally,
it was like this.
It was scary.
It was like and it was like something that these kids chalked up in their minds as like this joke. And
Yeah.
I remember saying it when it first started, like happening more frequently. It's like someone's gonna get hurt from this. Like this is like somebody's going to get hurt.
We all said that.
And then it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the only time it was taken seriously. Whenever you would call cops about it happening, or you would try to warn people, oh, it's nothing. So.
And
yeah.
it also, if you guys hear the random screaming in the background,
let me go close my door.
It's May.
It's
just May.
It's just May.
We've spoken about her.
She's a fellow streamer. She is Michael's little ones, his girlfriends, not little ones.
Significant
That
other.
sounds like a child, and
Yeah,
that's not true.
weird,
That's weird. He
dude,
calls her little one
weird.
because they are
He
very
can't even
different.
defend himself right now, dude.
There's a height difference. Sorry,
Jesus.
not a child. He doesn't have a child. It's his girlfriend.
Oh,
She's a streamer,
no.
so you guys hear her in the background. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this,
In Brendan's defense, as far as size goes, Deez is a massive
Yes,
human being.
yes.
May is not so much.
not so much. But
Do you see my incredible pineapple shorts?
yes, you do have very nice pineapple shorts on right now. Not as nice as my flamingo shorts though. They're pretty top tier. I'm sorry.
Which derived from my flamingo shirt.
Yeah,
so
that's
where does
true.
the credit go?
Okay, fair enough. It goes to you. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about this swatting thing because there was actually a swatter who was sentenced to 20 years in prison. He pleaded guilty. Exactly.
100%.
Huge clap.
Good.
Make an example of him. Exactly. He pled guilty to 51 counts of making fake emergency
It's
calls.
absurd, dude.
51. And he was a grown ass man. Like he was like 23 or 24 years old. Like grown ass man. And
I don't even have words.
So for someone who
that's
doesn't
insane.
actually know what we're talking about when it comes to swatting is when someone makes a fake emergency call to the police and basically goes,
Pretending
hey,
to be someone else.
yeah,
They say
usually
terrible things, like really dark.
really
like,
dark shit. So in my situation when I got pranked, the police officer told me, or swatted, excuse me, the police officer told me
don't call
that
it a prank.
someone had called and said they said that they were me and that they had an AK-47 and that they had just killed like a couple of their family members and they were going to kill someone else and they were going to kill themselves. And that's what they did. And so basically when a law enforcement hears that, they go, hey, this is really bad. This is terrible. We need to send a SWAT team. Like they send the highest level of enforcement to obviously go and get this under control. And for some reason, kids on the internet think that that's a prank when it actually it ended up resulting in
Not
the
a
death.
single thing funny.
No, it's not funny at
about
all. It
that.
resulted in the death of a man. I think I want to say in Missouri, Kansas. I think somewhere in there.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
And it was
and-
the wrong house. They didn't even swat the right guy. Like the,
Yeah.
the address was wrong. So this guy who had nothing going on. Like,
So yeah,
Nothing to do with this.
Random
nothing to
guy.
do. He walked out of his house. There was police surrounding him, and one of the police shot him because he had a cell phone in his hand, and they were nervous because of what they heard on the call. They thought it was an actual emergency, and one of the cops pulled the trigger and killed him. And he was literally. He opened the door and his two kids and his wife were in the living room right behind him when he died. It's a terrible, terrible tragedy.
it.
But the three
Dude,
kids that were involved,
disgusting.
the reason this happened is because two kids got in an argument over a $1.50 wager match on Call of Duty. And they started bullshitting. They started talking trash. One of the kids basically said, swap me, pussy. The other kid said, fine, I'll do it. And then that kid went and asked this other guy to do it. And he did it, and that was the guy who got sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. And the other two kids, or one of the kids who recruited the guy who actually swatted, he just got sentenced to 15 months in prison.
Everyone's getting punished.
Yeah, 15 months at the age of 19 for just quote unquote a prank. It's not a fucking prank. It's serious. And it's nice to see that law enforcement is actually starting to
taking
take
it serious.
They are taking it serious, and it's not a joke. So this
I'm
stuff
just
is
glad they're able to find the people
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I mean,
That's,
that's
the
the
hardest
thing.
part because they're going through all these VPNs
Yeah,
and
but
whatever other process they're using. Obviously, they can
bypass.
they can
it all.
find anyone.
they
Obviously,
can.
the government or whoever wants to find someone, they will find you. It's just nice that they're actually using those channels to find these people and taking it super serious. But it's super obviously it's only because that poor dude had nothing to do with it.
Something bad had to happen for them to actually
Yeah.
really take it seriously, which sucks. But that's just kind of the world we live in, unfortunately. But I'm just glad that it's finally starting to be cracked down, and hopefully that's the last shit we see like that. I feel like it is starting. People are starting to really realize that like this is not a joke. Like we can get in serious fucking trouble for this. So.
Or somebody
15
Or
years right
seriously
now.
somebody hurt.
You've limited where you can get jobs.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Just because you think you're doing something
really,
funny,
you really
it's
ruined
not.
your life.
Yeah, it's not fucking worth it. So if you're ever thinking about doing that kind of shit, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. It's stupid.
I don't feel like any of those people are here.
I don't think so either. But you
Yeah.
never know. You never know.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Kids
you
are
folks.
kids are crazy, man. Sometimes kids are crazy. I mean, there was that kid that wanted to get out of school, so he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna threaten shooting up our school today." That's because
I
he
didn't
didn't
hear
want to
about
go.
that.
He didn't want to go to school. And then his mom sat there and was like, "But why? He didn't do anything."
Oh, I remember that.
Bitch.
I remember seeing the video. I didn't know that's what it was, and that's why they were like
she was
in front of their house, right?
Yeah, she's like, but he didn't do anything. He's just a kid.
I didn't know that's the backstory. Yeah, I thought he made threats inside. I thought he made threats inside a video game.
He basically did, but he said he was going to do it to his school, and so the police came to his house.
Gotcha.
And they put him in jail. They put him, they took him to juvie or something because he was underage or something. But he was prosecuted for it. Like he got in trouble for it. So it's like
shit's everywhere, man.
It's everywhere, man.
It had just happened to my little brother's school. A kid had they found a gun in his backpack.
Jesus.
Holy crap! That's so
everywhere.
scary.
They found him randomly. I guess he was like a trouble kid or something like that because they found him just during a search of his stuff. Like he didn't do anything with it. He never like brandished it or anything like that. But they found it while they searched his belongings. So yeah, it's fucking nuts.
I mean, I think a lot of
Fucking
these,
nuts.
there's only so much parents can do, but I do think that a lot of these issues do lie with the parents. Like, there's too much freedom for these children. They shouldn't have. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care who you are.
There's only so much you can do with that. I think.
Well, but a child should never have access to a gun ever.
Yeah. How?
That's on the parents.
I mean, yeah,
So-
that's obviously the thing, but you have to think about, there's a lot of shit kids have to deal with nowadays. That look at us when we have to deal with crazy shit on social media or if a Twitch chat is being toxic. And then, I mean, bullying's fucking nuts. And now you could get bullied from people from across the world. So it's not like just you coming to school. So it's
but never once in my life when being bullied did I go, man, I want to kill that person. That's I'm sorry, but at no point in my life have I ever had that notion or that thought has ever crossed my brain. So there's a fine line there.
Shit's different. You got access to all this information, all this scary dark shit that you could see just a couple clicks of a mouse.
Yeah, we live in a
super like the worst thing I had, which was still bad at the time, was like, I don't know if anybody remembers like rotten.com.
Yeah, we've talked about that. That was the worst thing I ever had as a kid too. And it was fucked up.
And that was the worst thing. And you had to like get to it. And now I could just, I could end up on a subreddit and see some shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just how much access you have to these kids, and when their brains are all mush still and learning and taking everything in.
But I don't know. See, for me, like I'll be honest, I was 12 years old when I saw rotten.com for the first time. And I had no idea what it was. And I went on it. And like I was so sick to my stomach after being on that site, like what I had seen.
Yeah, I didn't respond.
Dude, it made me like I never want to see this type of shit again. I cannot imagine ever seeing this. Like this is horrible. It made me never want to do that kind of shit, or I can't imagine someone seeing that and being like, I don't know, just weird.
That's most people. Then you have those kids that kill animals and shit like that, and then they see all this other stuff, and it's People are
mental health.
People are fucking nuts.
That's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. We could talk about that for hours and hours. We won't get political on you guys. We've tried to do our best in terms of trying to stay away from politics and all that kind of spiel. For the most part, we want this to be a good go lucky podcast. Where you guys have a great day. Feel good shit.
Yeah, no, as you should.
So on the feel good,
but we're not gonna stray away from.
Yeah, no,
like
I mean,
either.
I think they're important. Like we should discuss stuff like this because it is important. Like it's going on in our world right now, especially our country right now in the USA. And it is very, very important. Like it shouldn't just be ignored. And I think that, it's kind of the time to discuss it, especially, elections coming up, it's important. So, anyways, we'll go.
Anyways.
That's for a different time. But, be informed, research things.
Yeah.
If you don't know something, look it up, read about it.
We got little computers in our pockets.
Yeah,
you got a question?
Dude, access
Google
to
that.
so
shit.
much information.
Actually, use that. Google that shit.
Yeah.
You gotta Google it. We Google how to boil an egg. Google some other crazy shit.
That's true.
I learned how to change the carburetor in my lawnmower one time.
YouTube videos.
Yep.
Bro, YouTube videos. How
I'm
to.
so proud of myself.
Everything. Dude, anytime, I don't know. Anytime I have to tie
carburetor, not change it.
Flush it. I was gonna say, bro, you're changing out carburetors. That's okay. That's why I would have just gone and bought a new lawnmower. Fuck that.
I mean, it must be nice to have so much money, huh?
Oh
Vern?
my God, are you kidding? Mike, the
Jesus.
same
Can't
guy,
relate.
the same guy who goes, "Are you poor?" when I say I won't do something. Are you fucking poor? I'm like, thanks,
Yeah,
Mike.
he's just trying to.
Yeah,
bully you into friendship
he's a
time.
bully. He's a bully.
I've never been called that.
You are always called that. No. You know, he only bullies his friends, Chad. It's okay. It's fine. At that point, it's called banter.
It's
not
not
bullying.
bullying. It's not bullying. It's like brotherly love.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's
That's
like,
true.
you know-
If you've ever grown up with siblings, you know the whole jabbing, and you know that if anybody else says this shit to your friend, you will smack
They're
the
gonna
hell
get the
out of
hands.
him.
Yeah.
You
That's
cannot
true.
talk to my friend like that. Only I can talk to him like that.
100%.
Back up.
I mean, that's mine and Vern's entire relationship. Like,
Oh,
people will come
dude.
into Vern's stream and say something that I would say to Vern, and Vern's like, "What the fuck? Who do you think you are? You
Like
can't
you would never
speak
say
to me
that
like
to somebody in real life. Like imagine, like I don't know you. You don't know me. You're not gonna walk up to me in public and say some shit that my best friend for how many years has said to me. Like you're not gonna say that if it's rude,
Yeah.
because it's not gonna go well for you.
You shouldn't. Yeah, you will, but you shouldn't.
that. I mean,
I don't
shit,
think they
I
would,
shouldn't
though.
even say it, but I do because I'm an asshole.
Like-
at the end of the day.
Like I can call Brendan a bitch. He can call me a bitch. But
True.
if anyone else called either of us a bitch, I feel like that would offend both of us.
Yeah, who the fuck you calling a bitch? You know?
Shut up.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking in general.
Oh.
Jesus, dude, stop being such a little bitch. Unbelievable, Vern. You think it's just so personal.
Soft. No, it's soft hours.
Oh my God. Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
Ooh,
This has been a
I
hefty
wanted
boy,
to-
so
I want to just real quick because basketball is super important. We were talking about NBA 2K, and I was going to try and squeeze it in there. But the USA basketball, the FIBA World Cup just finished up last week, and USA basketball finished had their worst finish they've ever experienced in the World Cup at 7th. Spain won. Marc Gasol became the second person in history to win a NBA championship and FIBA World Cup in the same year. And this is the most interesting part: is that the first person and the only other person to do it was Lamar Odom. And if you guys follow basketball,
Funny. This is hilarious because while I was watching football on Sunday, Lamar Odom was at that bar while we were watching.
Really?
It, so that's super.
Really?
That's super weird. That's super weird. That he's the only other person to do it.
he's
so
where's the big
he's having it
three?
up and down.
Where's the big three? Is it in LA? It's
Well,
probably. Or do they
they're
travel?
everywhere.
Oh, they travel
Yeah,
for the
they
big
travel.
three. Oh, okay. Because
Mhm.
you said he was in
I'm
the
pretty
big
sure
three
he's in
now.
the big three.
I don't know if
think
he
so.
is.
Oh, is he?
I remember reading a story saying that he kind of got it cleaned up because he was struggling with a lot of stuff for a while.
Well, he had
Yeah.
some. He was like a sex addict. He was a drug addict. He was like, but it was like
Yeah.
bad, like super bad.
Yeah,
at
he
one
like
point.
fell out of the NBA, and he
Yeah.
was a really good
Dude,
a really good player.
He was
Oh no, you're
fantastic.
addicted to sex.
No, it wasn't.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It was like
It was bad because he
Bad.
was found like he was doing like it was like heroin and like OD
like at brothels and
Like,
shit. Yeah, it was real bad.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, yeah,
He had taken it a step too far. Yeah,
yeah.
wasn't just like
But I just thought that was like super awesome for Marc Gasol, an amazing basketball player for the Toronto Raptors, and I thought it was even more weird that Lamar Odom was the only of all the players that have ever played for the USA team. Lamar Odom was the only person to ever win a championship in the same year that he won a World Cup.
I'm getting messages that said he was kicked out of the big three.
Of the
What did he do?
I mean, potentially.
I mean, it's Lamar Odom. What hasn't he done? I'm not shocked by that, if that is true.
I was actually really excited for him. Like when they announced he was going back to the big three. But that very
Your
well
team
could be a
just
thing.
the Pistons just signed
Joe
what's his
Johnson.
name? Yeah, who crushed it.
Oh,
right?
dude, he was crushing
look-
the big three.
Granted, I think the median age of the big three is about 54.
Dude, I was gonna say you
Do
guys
you-
are
do you think-
old.
Do you think I don't know because I don't know that like I don't know how the like obviously the minor league of basketball. Do you think they could make it? Do you think they could make it like a younger man's game for the big three stuff and maybe give that as another avenue to the NBA? Or do you think it'll stay the old dogs?
I think the
thing?
point of it is to watch kind of the old dogs that used to run the NBA, kind of the nostalgic factor. I think that's what makes it so
I
fun
don't
to watch.
think so.
No?
There's I want to say that there's one player on one of the teams who is a younger dude, and it could be like another avenue besides college. Like the NBA has the rule now that you can't be
Well,
drafted out of high school.
I'm saying after college. Well, yeah, I guess you could do that. I guess you
Like-
could have those young kids who come in
and like play for the big three, and then play a year in the big three because they can't come straight out of high school. They play a year in the big three, ball out there, and then like that's their
Another
ticket
avenue,
to the NBA.
potentially.
You know, because like kids now, I remember, man, I don't want to like start going into this because I feel like I'm gonna get fact checked and like be beaten down. But like when LaMelo Ball, one of the Lonzo brothers' youngest brother, he went over. He dropped out of high school and was being homeschooled, right? And then he went over. He went overseas to play because
arrested and shit too, didn't he?
He got in China. He was stealing.
That was LiAngelo, the second brother.
Oh, okay, it's a different
one of the Ball brothers.
But that was going to be his progression then, because he like got something because it contracts with endorsements. He was ineligible for college, so they were like, okay, well, just go play overseas, and then when you turn of age, hopefully you'll enter the NBA draft. So I think it could be another avenue for young dudes too. But
I think that's.
They had to build a foundation, and what better than to have a bunch of these the NBA veterans that people already know and love. You know, like who's gonna want to come and show up and watch a bunch of college kids that didn't get drafted or high school kids that you've never heard of.
I think if you had some stud, like obviously because ESPN and everybody covers like these freak young high school players that just look like they're 93 years old playing against toddlers. Like when it's like you're not 15, you're like 7 feet tall. Like get out of here. Check his birth certificate. I think the G League stuff could be good for players like that, because I'm one for, I don't think everybody needs to just go to college. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't either. I think, especially when you're that talented, like, Zion Williamson, I almost think that what happened to him this last season was a perfect example of why that type of athlete shouldn't necessarily go to college. Now, he wanted to, and he injured himself, and he came back and played because, he's a team player, but he could have possibly gotten so injured, he could have missed out completely on his NBA career and all that potential future money. And he's a generational talent. Like, if that would have happened, that would have been a huge eye-opening. Like, oh my God, we can't. Yeah. That's why there's a lot of people who they don't want to play in that 1 year. They have to do something, but they had what's his name? Anthony Simons for the Blazers. He played for IMG Academy and then took a year off out of high school and just played basketball and just worked out. And then he went into the draft. Yeah. So there's a lot of people.
I think certain. The people that are around these kids need to be smart, and the teams need to also be smart. But if there are people like obviously like LeBron or a Zion that it's a plug and play into the NBA, because some people need to go grow into their bodies.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So you can't just be drafting these young kids and then fully ruining ruining their their future life because you say they're going to be this star, and then they miss out on it. They miss out on a college education, shit like that. Like if there are these players that are freaks, then it has to be different. Like not everybody gets everything.
Yeah. You got middle schoolers now that are signing letters of intents to colleges.
No,
because they're like they want to lock that up. Imagine if a professional league, and they're not gonna take care of that player. God forbid any injury happens. They're like the NBA pulls you out of high school. They've been watching you since middle school, and you get injured. Their first season, their first game. That's it for you. Mm-hmm. You missed out. Now you're probably not getting scholarships to colleges and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah. It's a slippery slope. It's all
everyone's different for sure. There are.
I think college.
Go ahead, Mike.
No. I think college. I don't know if you guys pay attention to any college football, but a lot of players that know they're going to be drafted, they stop playing after a certain point. They play a certain amount of games and then they're done. They don't play in championship games.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Any title stuff, because they know they're being drafted. Right. They only will jeopardize themselves of getting hurt and then falling out of the draft. So they go from first round talent to a third, or they don't get drafted at all. So they missed out on all this money. So a lot of players now are just stopping. So I don't know if basketball will do the same thing where they'll just, they'll play a small sample size of games just, to show tape for that year and then go into the draft. Because you're allowed to do it. You don't have to play.
Right.
So I'm curious to see if basketball players follow the same thing.
At the end of the day, I think
You
it just
guys-
depends on the player, because you got to make sure, like, you at the end of the day, like, you come first as the athlete. Like, your
Yeah.
body is the product. If something happens to you, you're going to be out potentially with, without that career, that money that could be life changing, what you've been working for. So I guess it just depends on the player. Some people do need to go to college and focus on that 4 years to, like, really, like, hone their craft and develop. Exactly. And some people are just, they have it. They have the talent. They have the physical, they're already there physically. They can hop right into the NBA like Zion. Granted, he definitely did go up in his draft stock playing for a season, because everyone saw him just absolutely dominate at Duke, and they were like, okay, he really is the real
He can
deal.
play.
Yeah,
He's
he
good.
can play. So, like, it definitely helped him.
He's like really the only. I mean, I don't follow a lot of basketball, but he's the only person I've really seen come out that's like full, like, you're grown already. Like LeBron, when he came in, he was small.
He was a baby.
Like LeBron was small, Kobe was small.
Yeah, they
like
were
a
all
lot of these
skinny.
young dudes that
KG
come
was
in.
small, yep.
But Zion he's only going to get bigger, which is scary.
You know what? Like, I've seen people like in chat, like, talking about him, discussing Zion Williamson. They're like, "Oh, he needs to lose weight and stuff like that." I was like, "Have you seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen
Wait,
this
that
dude's
dude
vertical?
moves.
Yeah, I know
Yeah, have
exactly.
you seen the
moves
dude has a
that way.
40-inch
Exactly.
vertical, 45, 50-inch vertical? Like,
He doesn't-
he's not fat.
He
He's
wouldn't
not
want to.
big.
He wouldn't want to lose that anyway. He's strong.
Yeah,
He's
you
big. He
need
can
that
move
size
people
in the
around.
NBA.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean,
I
people
just
think like, look at how much like LeBron weighs. Like, if you look at LeBron, you think he's super lean, but LeBron's
he's
not
heavy.
LeBron is not small. What?
Dude, he's
LeBron's
a
like
freight
250
train now.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember there was
He's only gotten
a
bigger.
year. There was a
He
year
might be-
that I
he
remember
might
he
be bigger,
completely
'cause-
transitioned his game.
Yeah, LeBron's
Like
yoked
he
now.
was that athletic, like, skinnier,
He had
like,
to.
high flyer, and
Yeah.
then, like, once he
Yeah.
started getting older, he was like, I can't be jumping from the free throw line every game like this anymore. And over the summer, dude, that dude got huge. He just really muscled up. Real quick though, before we jump to whatever next, I saw a video on Twitter from Tim Tebow kind of arguing this counterpoint, but I think that NCAA rules were going to start allowing players to take endorsements.
Yep.
No,
Which I thought,
only,
like,
in
they're not
only in California.
Is it?
I
Okay.
think-
No,
yeah,
I
I
didn't-
think you're right.
California passed it. It's you can make money from your likeness. So if they put your number on a jersey, put you in a game, or put you commercials, you can make money from it now. But you're bowl ineligible.
You're what?
You're ineligible for bowl games.
Oh, for football.
bowl ineligible.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's only for football right now
Really?
then? 'Cause
Why?
I've-
Why
Well,
would?
no, it's for games. You can't you can make money, but you're not eligible because you can't because you're eligible in California. You're not eligible. It's just like it's like medical marijuana kind of thing. It's legal here, but I can't bring that to someplace else, and then just the same rules apply to me.
What?
So, yeah, you're ineligible for any
I
sport.
really hope.
Yeah, so
that
it
eventually-
has to get passed. It has to get passed nationwide. NCAA has to
So
adopt
the
it everywhere.
NCAA has
Or-
to pass it.
Yeah,
Like, totally, completely.
yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, thank you for shedding some light on that,
yeah,
because
that
I
is
saw
interesting.
that and I was actually really excited because I remember playing way back in the day. They literally had an NCAA basketball game that I played, and I would
Yeah.
like transfer all the draft class into NBA 2K.
Yeah.
You know, so like they people are making money, dude. They're farming money from
Yeah.
these college athletes, and like I do agree that their scholarships and the stuff, like they're getting education and like they're playing with
Yeah,
the
but what if they get
opportunities to
injured?
go pursue. Yeah, but that's what I mean though.
Yeah.
Like if you're basically using them for money, I feel like they should have at least an opportunity to earn money as well.
Yeah.
So like taking
Yeah,
endorsements.
and a lot
stuff.
of these kids, I mean, they come in like to college, and not a lot of them have the best high school learning experience. If they get hurt, they're not going to put those extra resources to make sure this kid gets through college.
Dude.
Even though he might want to, he might not have the ability to go through it. So
Yeah.
and then he'll just fail out. So it's not guaranteed that just because you have a scholarship, you're getting you're graduating, you're getting a diploma. It's not a happen.
Full circle, it literally happened in the 2K story. It just dawned on me.
Yeah,
like,
it did.
One of the players got injured and they cut him from the team and they revoked his scholarship and the
Because
kid
he
had to
got
go
injured.
home.
and
that's it, and you're done.
He's
like,
done.
That's it. So
no more education, no more basketball career.
But nobody thinks about it. You got all these, big head dumbasses who just say, "Oh, kids shouldn't make money because he's doing this."
Yeah, instead all these whales in suits are making money off of them.
Why can we not? You can't have like jobs when you're like a college athlete. You can't do shit.
Exactly. You're so dedicated. That's
absurd. That's absurd to me. It's like, how are these kids supposed to live? Like, are they supposed to just do their homework, do a practice, and just stay at home? Like, that's what some people think. It's like, these are still people. These are kids, like 18 to 20-year-old kids.
Well, here's my thing.
Home.
Think about Zion Williamson and think of the national coverage that was he was on ESPN constantly. His nationally
Even
televised
in high school.
I know, and his nationally televised games were literally on major television stations. You know how much money and advertisement went into that because Zion is on your goddamn screen. Exactly, and he made zero from it. Now, granted, Zion Williamson I'm sure made money somehow in some other ways. But because he's Zion, there's been rumors that he was paid under the table by Nike and all this stuff. But it doesn't even matter. He should be getting paid for that.
Which doesn't bother me.
That doesn't bother me either. That doesn't bother me either. I think these athletes, they should be getting paid.
Be illegal in the first place.
It shouldn't be illegal. Exactly.
Like putting food on your table is now going to revoke your scholarship and make you ineligible for college basketball and then potentially the NBA. Get out of here. Or any professional league.
So that's a whole other thing too, but it's hopefully that begins to change.
I thought that was interesting that they're moving that way.
That is interesting. I'm a huge advocate of college athletes making money. I truly think they should be paid. The NCAA should pay them in some way. There's literally just dudes at the top that are making shit tons of money off these kids that are their bodies are the product. Like literally, the game is the product and their bodies are the product.
There was a coach that just got offered a lifetime contract, millions of dollars, a lifetime contract for a team.
Yeah. What about the players? They're the team. Hopefully it's changing. Hopefully, I think we're starting to see the shift. We're gonna, a different generational shift is happening. LeBron's been speaking out about it. We have a lot of these athletes current day that have the platforms to be able to speak out about it. So I think we're gonna see a shift and a change, but it's so ingrained in the NCAA. There's so many people, and it's been going on for so long that it's going to be almost impossible to change, and it's going to take so much time to do it. But I think there is potential for it to change eventually. So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see. Is there anything else? I feel like that's, man.
Honestly, there probably was more stuff, but we've already been rocking this boy for about an hour.
2 hours.
45,
2
almost
hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. Which has been the longest podcast. It's been the longest one, bar none. I knew that was going to happen, though. We get a guest on.
We did say
somebody
that.
we like bullshitting
we already
with.
Talk everyone's ears off, and then all of a sudden we bring another person.
Yeah,
especially someone that's well-spoken and beautiful.
God, you guys, those listening can't see Michael's beard, but oh my God, it's like
Also, my camera doesn't look as nearly as good
on Discord. Yeah, no, it's definitely not.
It is stripped my beauty away.
Yeah, no.
And we're gonna figure this out.
Imagine a Viking.
I'll DM you my Venmo.
Imagine like a Viking Jesus, and that is Michael. So, no, but thanks for coming on, Mike. We appreciate having you, man.
Dude, that was awesome.
And we've been playing games a lot, so we felt like we had to first official guest on the podcast. Yeah. So
dude, please plug yourself right now.
Yeah, plug yourself. Where can people find you?
I stream on Mixer, mixer.com/diesel, Di3seL. Twitter is OpTic Diesel for now. That'll change. And Instagram is just Diesel. So
there you go.
There you
find him there. Go follow him.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Check out his stream. Give him some. What do you guys call it over there? Sparks.
Well, Sparks is like free currency that you guys are getting here on. You're getting that here on Twitch soon. It'll be something different.
Whoa, dude! Spoilers.
Bits are called embers over on Mixer.
Embers.
Make it rain.
Yeah,
subscription. It's all pretty much the same thing.
And if you guys like Mike, let us know. We'll bring him back potentially. This is a thing we're gonna be doing ongoing.
Yeah, give us some feedback.
I'd love to bring Mike and Tucker on the same episode.
Oh, that would be fun.
that might have to be.
That's 3 to 4 hours minimum.
That might have to be a drunk episode, a special edition drinking.
Person. I say we all get together.
That could be a good one.
I would do that.
That could be a good one. We'll have to do that.
We could film that at TwitchCon.
Oh, wow. Well, you better watch out.
We've been doing really, really well with this bi-weekly thing. Don't throw a wrench in our plans, buddy.
yeah, we're gonna mess this up.
But you got us all together, is what I'm saying,
That's
my boy.
true. That's true.
That's true.
All right, Vern. Well, you guys can always check out Vern's stuff: Twitter, Facebook,
And Vern Notice
Instagram.
on everything.
Vern
now.
Notice on
Vern
YouTube
Notice
now.
On YouTube, just fired that back up. So please subscribe to me there. I abandoned a channel that I worked on for years.
Many videos.
And started a new one, rebranded completely now to Vern Notice on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all that good stuff.
You guys can find me mixer.com/ninja. Hit that sub button. Appreciate you guys supporting. You guys can find me all over Microsoft, anything, Xbox. I'm just kidding. Please, twitch.tv/goldglove. Hit the sub button. Thank you.
Please don't leave.
Please don't leave. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here for episode 4. The first time we've had a guest. It was great. It was fantastic. We will see you guys.
Awesome episode.
2 weeks. 2 weeks after TwitchCon.
Today.
We'll see you guys then. Take it easy.
See you later, alligators.
Have a good one.
Goodbye.
I think he's doing a little outro.